Australia is known around the globe for having a disproportionate number of deadly animals. No,
yes.
we don't have lions or anacondas or hippos. Do you know hippos kill more?
Yes, I know that,
than-
yeah.
But ours here in Australia are much scarier because they're not so obvious. It's something people overseas scratch their heads about. How we are also relaxed and chilled and hanging at the beach when we're living among some of the world's deadliest spiders, the most venomous snakes, jellyfish, octopus,
Hippos.
not hippos, but crocodiles and, of course, sharks. But there is one Australian animal that not everyone thought of as particularly deadly.
The human.
No, I think we all know they're quite deadly. I've written this really nicely. Let me read it. This certain animal wasn't feared around the world. But that all changed one day in 1980 when a mother would utter the soon-to-be infamous phrase, "The dingoes got my baby."
Oh, my God.
This is the story of Lindy and Azaria Chamberlain.
Oh, my God. I know this story, but I don't know the specifics of it. I think everyone knows this story. But
Everyone in Australia certainly does. It was very famous, like globally.
Yeah.
But let's deep dive into
Oh, my
it.
God.
Dingo dive.
Something like that.
Started with a D. I thought it might work. I'm sorry. Edit it here.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Not Another Crime Podcast.
I'm Georgia Lowell.
I'm Sammy Peterson.
I'm a journalist.
I am not. But I'll tell you what you can do. If you like skipping ahead and just listening to the story, you can do that. The time code is in the show notes below. G, you were going to do a story this week that is so world famous. I mean, you think of Australian sayings. I think shrimp on the barbie and a dingo stole my baby are two of the biggest sayings of all time that are known in Australia.
That's right. And interesting that you said a dingo stole my baby because it is largely misquoted as a dingo stole my baby or the dingo ate my baby.
Yes.
In fact, the phrase was the dingoes got my baby.
Dingoes got my baby or dingoes took my baby, I've heard before as well.
Yeah.
That's another...
It's very, like, it's quoted in so many, like, shows and things as kind of a joke about Australia.
Yes,
which,
yeah.
I mean, we'll go into the story. It's really not a joke.
Oh, it's horrible.
But, yeah, your favourite show, The Simpsons.
Yep, Simpsons.
And Frasier.
Yes, Frasier and Simpsons.
And Seinfeld.
Yes.
The three of your top favourite shows all
Of course
all
they
quote
do.
that.
It's so interesting as well because I think, and we'll talk about this after, but I mean, I think that she was kind of like an Amanda Knox.
Hey.
No.
Let's wait for this
Okay,
chat.
okay.
Let's hold the chat.
Well,
please.
let me just say this real quick. Diggs has a new pig toy.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. It's squeaky. So if you hear that, just know that this is only a moment of your life, and at the moment, this is my whole life. It is Diggs walking around with his squeaky. I have always asked people not to get me squeaky toys because Diggs thinks they're hilarious. And he shows you nonstop.
I feel like every dog owner knows this pig toy.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
and no
yeah.
one has ever bought it for their own dog.
No,
They've
you would
always been
never.
gifted.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you hear that noise, that is the wonderful Diggs.
Well, it was one of Diggs's Christmas presents, so he got to spend his...
Excuse me, last episode you were telling us Diggs was getting to go to Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Please tell us about it.
Oh, it was the best day for Diggs ever. He went to the beach and he got so excited at the beach. He got so excited. We had, I think, three days down there and it was the best. Diggs went to the beach every day. He ran, he tried to bite the waves. He just thinks the beach is the most incredible thing ever. Also probably really good for his arthritis and hip dysplasia, the cold water. So he had the best time ever. He was so excited the entire time. He followed me around the whole time, like having naps with me and stuff, because at one point I did have a few too many scoops, as my friend Marique would say.
Too many scoops.
She calls having a drink a few scoops. She goes, "Should we go for a few scoops?" But I had a lot of sparkling wine one of the days and sang "How to Make Gravy" at people for a while.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Yeah, there was a
Is there video footage of that?
yeah, there was
Send it to me immediately.
there was a musician, the great Berry, who's a friend of my parents, came along and he played music for a while, and no one was singing. No one was singing. Everyone was just kind of watching him. And then I just grabbed this gold microphone that my mum had. You know, one of those kind of karaoke microphones.
yes.
It's really
I
tinny
know
sound.
them. I
You
know
would
them
actually. I
well.
don't know why I'm asking you. And and I grabbed that and got the lyrics up for How to Make Gravy, and I sang it really loud, and then my auntie ripped it off me and said that's
stuff.
enough of that.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
I need to see that footage immediately.
It's some good stuff, but I think Christmas is actually the perfect time to get a little bit drunk and sing that song, and then have a big nap for a few hours.
Was that on Christmas Day?
That was on Christmas Day. Then I had a nap for quite a few hours. And then I rose like a phoenix. I got back up and I made Dad an espresso martini. So my dad he loves an espresso martini. My dad's not a drinker, but he does like an espresso martini. And he had one in a caravan park where was it? It was like Bega or something. And it looked, I'll be honest, Bega Caravan Park, it looked foul.
Whoa,
and he thought it was the best thing in the world. It was instant coffee with there's a lot of stuff going on there. Anyway, but I thought for Christmas I'm going to buy him a cocktail kit and I'm going to take it down.
An actual good one.
Yeah, and I made it for him. We had that G-Love on Christmas night. Christmas night at about 11 p.m. Stupid move. So no, I was dry, but I was risen.
I saw
after my nap.
I saw a tweet recently that said espresso martinis are just Jaeger bombs that studied abroad and won't shut up about.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, but it was. I had a great Christmas. I caught up with some old school friends, which was. I mean, I see them all the time anyway. But it was just so nice being down there together, down on Phillip Island. Dig swam all the time, and then since I've been back, I have been sleeping, reading, and love. I'm going to tell you this because I've told you this before. And listeners, look, I've been making roast potatoes.
I've heard all about these roast potatoes.
I'm passionate.
Wow.
Yeah, I am passionate about my goddamn roast potatoes.
Air fryer guy.
A real air fryer guy. And I have been having that peppercorn gravy.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, it doesn't really go together, but it's fun.
I think it's impossible to have an air fryer and not talk about it all the time.
It's wild.
This is just from my anecdotal research. That seems to be what happens.
Yeah. Well, my auntie had a Thermomix as well.
Whoa.
And I helped her make the cauliflower cheese for Christmas Day.
God, yeah.
And it took so long that we were like both really late for Christmas because the cauliflower cheese took forever. But it was so worth it. How was your Christmas, G-Love?
It was lovely and very relaxed. My sister has a little holiday hobby farm, and we spent it down there. And I was going to stay for maybe till 2 days after Christmas. I ended up staying for a week.
Yeah,
because every day I would wake up and go, this lovely country air is healing me. And
you were stressed. You were going to me. Oh, I've got to come back and record. Yeah. And I was like, G-Love, I got baked potatoes. You stay down there. Stay down there, girlfriend.
So I did.
Yeah,
and it was beautiful. Yeah. Obviously, I watched Heated Rivalry. Have you watched it
No,
yet?
no. I've heard a lot about it. I've been watching other shows I want to tell you about, but please, what's this?
Okay, well, I mean, I want to talk about it now because the whole world is, but I also don't want to talk about it if you haven't watched it yet because spoilers.
It's fine.
No, but oh my God. All right, all I will say is I'm deeply...
It's a homosexual program, I believe.
It's colloquially referred to as the gay hockey show.
The gay hockey show.
Gay hockey show.
Oh, okay.
The internet is calling it gay hockey show.
Yep.
It is the best thing I've ever watched. I have become deeply obsessed with these fictional characters. It has somehow ruined and healed me all at once in 6 episodes.
Yep.
And I cannot stop thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
I lay in bed this morning, openly crying, reading reactions and tweets and stuff about it. Oh, my
okay.
God, I'm obsessed.
I need to check it out then. I'm going to make you watch Sea
so
Change soon, but maybe we'll
I do think it's a little bit different to Sea Change, but
that's interesting.
Got time for them both.
Well, can I ask you this quickly because you'll know the answer to this then? The week in between Christmas and New Year's, it's like, it's a weird week because you're like, what day is it? It's a blur.
Yep.
It feels like I woke up and all of a sudden, people started calling the end of financial year sales the iffy sales all of a sudden. Iffy. I didn't know where that came from.
I know what you're
I don't know
say.
where goddamn Gooch Week came from. What does it mean?
I hate that
Oh, God.
term
I didn't mean to say it
so
like that.
much. It's more than a Paudry peeve. That's why we can talk about it up top. I despise
What
that
is it?
term.
What does it mean?
You don't know what a gooch is?
I do know what a gooch means. Is that literally why it's called gooch?
Yeah, because it's like
Oh,
it's
in between.
the week and, I
Oh.
despise that term
It's
so
called
much.
taint week.
Taint.
Taint is the...
You just
Oh, no,
pointed,
yeah.
pointed between.
Sorry, you can watch the YouTube if you want.
What's taint? Is it the same as?
Yeah, it's the same as gooch.
Oh well, I hate that. But the word gooch itself just does funny things to my brain. It
Yeah.
scratches my brain wrong. Oh,
I thought it
hate
might have been Grinch related.
No, not Grinch related. No, he gone by Boxing Day.
But yeah, so your
But
Christmas
that week-
heated rivalry.
That week is my favourite week of the whole year.
Yep.
No one expects anything of you. You don't have to be anywhere. No one's making plans with you.
No.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's the best. It's so good as a week. So you had a great time. You had a spa?
It was lovely. Yeah,
Pool
my
thing.
sister's got a little blow up. It looks like a blow up pool, but it's a legitimate spa.
Yeah,
that heats up and has bubbles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just read my book and watched Heated Rivalry and talked about Heated Rivalry and slept.
Wow. I came to visit you on my way home, which isn't really on the way at all. But
Diggs.
with Diggs. And it was so much fun. We got McDonald's on the way home. He had a cheeseburger.
That is a rite of passage.
Yeah.
When you're driving home from the country.
Yeah. He had a cheeseburger. It was great.
And listeners, can we tell you
Mm.
that Diggs and Paudry kind of met?
Kind of met. Yeah, the photos are incredible.
We will share the photos
Yeah.
on the Instagram when
Yeah.
this episode goes out. So Pauds was inside and Diggs was outside, and
Yep.
they saw each other through the window. And let me say, Diggs thought it was the best thing ever.
Yep.
Paudry did not.
She looked so mad.
God, it's amazing.
Well, that was the end of Diggs's week away, where he slept for like 4 days after that. But we also saw alpacas on the farm, and Diggs just thought they were the most incredible thing he's ever seen.
Yeah, they didn't think
Big teddy bears. No.
They did not think he was the most incredible thing. My sister freaked out
Yes,
because the
yeah.
alpacas started making a
Yeah,
noise.
and there's one
that
that's a bit
she's-
jumpy.
Yeah, she's only ever heard them make that noise when they are likely to jump and
And
kick.
seeing a horrific beast such
Exactly,
as
Diggs.
Diggs.
It was a big week for Diggs.
Huge week for Diggs, and we are recording this on New Year's Eve.
We are.
Isn't that beautiful?
It has been. You put up a beautiful post on Instagram reflecting on your year.
Yeah.
And I love so much how you worded the first sentence. So people were like, their New Year's Eve posts are always like, oh, this year was big because of such and such, and
Yeah.
I went through this and I did these things. You said, here's some of what I got to do this year.
Yeah.
I fucking love that so much, Sammy. What a beautiful way to put it. You got to do these
I got to
amazing
do
things.
I got to do a lot this year.
And like they've been hard things and hard times,
Yeah.
and it's been a really shitty year globally.
Yeah.
I just love that take you had on it. I got to do these things.
I got
Like,
to
how
do these
beautiful.
things. Yeah, and it was the biggest year of my life this year. And so many awful things happened. I mean, at the end of the year with what we spoke about, the Bondi shooting, so many awful things happened this year. But there were also amazing things that I got to do. And I was like, how lucky am I that I got to go around Australia this year, and I got to, do my first ever show. I got to act in a short film. We launched this podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, we launched this podcast in February, I think, or January, maybe late January.
Jan.
It was
It's
late
nearly a year.
January, nearly a year. So we got to do that. I got to continue my podcast I did with Bron. I wrapped up a podcast I did for 7 years called Confessions, which I wrapped that up after 7 years. So much happened in the space of a year when I was just looking through photos going, holy hell, that happened this year. That happened this year. There was so much that I got to do over a whole year. I bought my forever home. I moved house twice. I got my car stolen. No, I didn't get to do that. Yeah, I didn't get to do that.
No, only once, but then you got it back.
I got it back. But yeah, but things that, that you go, oh my God, when you look back at your year, because I think for some people, years can go really quickly or really slowly. And I feel like I think there's both, parts of the year go really slowly, parts of the year go really fast. But when you look back at a year, I go, oh my God, I did something every day. And it's always my thing to go, I'll take a photo of one thing that I did every single day. So it's
wow.
taking Diggs for a walk, can be as simple as that, or like hanging out with a friend. And I'll go, can I take a photo of you really quickly because I want to kind of have this as my moment of the day. And when you look back on it, you go, oh my God, there's like 365 photos of one part of your day. Like, I got a photo of you and Tim Minchin when we met, where Tim Minchin after his show, or like a tiny little thing, like, just Diggs jumping on the couch with mum, or like just little parts where you go, oh, that happened this year. And I toured a whole show with Dave Warnicky, my great friend, this year. I did, you go, oh my God. And I was like, oh, I did a show every night for a month for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. I did, so you go, oh, there actually a lot happened this year.
You did so much. You got to do so much.
I got to do so much.
Your gratitude and positivity in saying you got to do so much is so beautiful. And that has, I think, shone over all of us and everyone who knows you. So thank you, Simon Peterson.
Hey, thank you, G-Love. And also, Happy New Year, G-Love. Have you got anything that you want to do next year, apart from be a goddamn amazing friend to everyone as you always are?
I was wondering where that was going, but I think you were as well. I was wondering where it was going. This year's been very big for me personally. Started off with a separation, marriage separation.
I'm sorry, I'm just hearing about this.
I don't talk about it often. So it's been a very big, turbulent year. But here we are. I'm feeling so much more settled and myself than I knew or expected I would be by this time this year. So I'm like a deeply nostalgic person in a very bad way. Like it's not a positive how nostalgic I am. So I always get a bit funny around dates and
of course
New Year's and stuff. So it's been a big year to reflect on, but I've had so many of like genuinely the best and happiest moments and memories have been in this last 365. No, you've ruined
sorry
it.
about that. So one thing that I want to say before we actually get into this week's episode is I think this time is such a weird time for a lot of people. It's such a strange time, and we're continuing to podcast through this time. I would love to say that I have been watching great things. I've been reading quite a lot as well. I've started the Helen Garner series that you got me for Christmas.
The diaries.
And
because
loving it.
Well, we all know how much of a crush Sammy has on Helen Garner. And I was in a bookshop and I saw the biggest hardcover book I've ever seen in my life. That is Helen Garner's Diaries. And I thought,
it's so good.
It won't be Christmas for Sammy unless he receives them.
That's right. So I've been reading that. I've been reading another book called Under the Bridge, which is really intense. It's a very hard read because of the content, but I highly recommend it if you want a true crime book. I have actually gone back and started it again because I realised I wasn't really focused on it enough. So I've actually started it again. I think when you read books, sometimes you don't really 100% focus. And I realised I was kind of halfway through the book and went, hold on, who's that character? And I had to kind of go back. So now I'm going.
So it's like a deeply disturbing one and you're double reading it.
And I'm double reading it. Oof. So I'm going back reading that. But I'm also taking time and reading more Helen Garner. As well as that, I have been watching, which I'll go into in another episode because one of the episodes I'm doing soon, I watch a series that has got me going, oh my God, this is a true story. And I'm doing that. I think in the next episode I'll be doing that. But David E. Kelley, who writes most of American television, I mean, he wrote Big Little Lies, he wrote Boston Legal, he wrote Ally McBeal. He writes and creates most of American TV. I've been watching quite a lot of his stuff. Love and Death is a show I just watched. Mr. Mercedes is another one that he wrote and created, which is fantastic. The first series is fantastic. That's another true crime one. And I also watched Simon Cowell has a documentary on Netflix.
Did we talk about this?
I think we already spoke about it, but I watched that. There's a lot of things that I've been watching that keep popping up. And there's a new documentary on Jodie Hildebrandt that I haven't watched yet, but I highly recommend watching it because we're going to talk about it this week.
There is an Australian kind of media commentator.
Yeah, he's conservative.
Writer called Joe Hildebrandt.
Yeah.
And I sincerely thought you meant there was a documentary about Joe Hildebrandt.
I wouldn't be watching that. But G, have you got any recommendations you've been reading? You've been...
Heated Rivalry. I can't stop talking or thinking about it.
okay.
But yes, I've also been reading the book that you got me for Christmas called Loved One. I'm about 2/3 of the way through and I love it.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay.
really, really, really good. But I'll talk about it more when I finished it.
Okay, G-Love. Well, let's get into this week's episode.
Let's do it. Alice Lynn Murchison, who was known as Lindy from a very young age, was born in March 1948 in New Zealand. But her family moved to Australia when she was just a baby.
Oh, okay.
Her father was a pastor, not
Not
Penne
pastor,
or
pastor.
rigatoni, at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which we'll talk about a bit more later.
Right.
So they moved around. The family moved around a bit when he was put kind of in charge of different
unsettling.
churches.
I imagine moving around a lot would be hard.
Yeah. But Lindy spent most of her childhood in Victoria, Australia, where we live. Oh.
I didn't know that.
I've said I'll talk a bit more about the church later. The next line says a bit about the Seventh-day Adventist.
I thought you were going to explain what Australia was.
Oh, yeah, that too. Do you know much about Seventh-day Adventist Church?
No, I don't.
So it's a Protestant now, and I do. This is research that I've done very kind of quickly. I apologize if there's anything I'm missing or stating incorrectly. But from what I have garnered, it is a Protestant Christian denomination known for observing Saturday as the Sabbath, the seventh day.
Oh, okay.
Which is the Seventh-day Adventist.
Yep.
And it emphasizes on the imminent second coming of Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. There are so many branches of Christianity that it's so hard sometimes to keep up with it. Yeah,
it is a branch of Christianity. Its core beliefs are rooted in the Bible.
Yes.
With a belief in the heavenly sanctuary and an investigative judge. Oh, I just put a little extra syllable in there. Yeah. Investigative judgment before Jesus' return.
Okay.
They follow a strict code of ethics. They're often vegetarian. They avoid alcohol, tobacco, and drugs, and believe in the unconscious state of the dead until resurrection.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's not the same as Mormonism, but the two are often confused, just in ignorance.
Sure.
People that don't know. They share some similar practices. A key difference is that Seventh-day Adventists follow the Bible, Mormons followed the Book of Mormon.
Yes, okay, sure.
The actual book, but potentially the musical as well.
Yeah. Was it Joseph Smith, is that right?
It sure was, which I only know because of the musical.
Yeah.
The Mormon prophet Joseph Smith, the all-American prophet.
Whoa.
He found out about Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Okay, I'll sing you the rest of the musical later.
Thank you.
Now, more on how and why Lindy's beliefs and this religion are worth mentioning will come up later. In 1969, when Lindy was 21, she married 25-year-old Michael Chamberlain, the pastor at her church.
Oh, right, okay.
He was also a New Zealand Australian and obviously was of the same religion. They lived for the first 5 years of their marriage in Tasmania.
Whoa.
And during this time, they had their first child, a son named Aidan. While living there, Lindy also got her certificate in dressmaking and tailoring and would go on to become predominantly a wedding dress maker.
Oh, okay.
But would also make many of her own clothes and clothes for her children. The new family of three then moved after 5 years to Queensland, and there they had their second child, another son named Reagan.
That's a huge change.
Tassie to Queensland.
Yeah.
And they moved around a few different places within Queensland, but kind of
okay.
everywhere pretty much that they lived from now on was Queensland.
Yeah, right.
Lindy had always been very vocal that she'd always wanted a baby girl. And when Aidan was 7 and Reagan was 4, her dream came true. On June 11, 1980, Lindy and Michael's third child was born, a baby girl they named Azaria.
Now, Azaria is an odd name for Australia and New Zealand. Do you know what that means?
I've literally written asterisk, more on her name later.
Oh, okay. Sure. It would be the next
It'll
sentence
come
again.
up.
Okay,
no,
okay,
it's not the next sentence this time. It will come up. Mark my word.
Right.
That's what you call a hook.
Ooh, hook, line and sinker. You reel them in.
If the crime in the story is like
the name.
People aren't hanging around for the crime part of it, but they will hang around for the meaning of the name.
Great forward sell.
Now, Michael didn't spend a heap of time at home given his church duties. So when they could, the family would often take time to travel together. And when little Azaria was just 9 weeks old, that's what they did. They packed up their Tarana and they took the family on a camping trip to the Northern Territory.
Oh, it's kind of like the huge people mover kind of cars.
Yeah, not
the
Toronto.
van.
No, you're thinking Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, yeah.
But it's like a big kind of big
People mover.
van.
Yeah.
Now, the family had camped and travelled with their 2 little boys, so they felt confident and comfortable in doing so with Azaria, despite her being so little.
Yeah.
They knew, they had done that before and they knew they could again. So they travelled around the Northern Territory, which is the outback, is really known as the outback of Australia, the red centre for the red dirt.
Yeah. And the highest point of Australia is isn't it? The Northern Territory?
Oh, as in like the most northern.
Yeah.
It's like the highest point. I was like, is there a big mountain?
No, sorry. No. But they've got, because it's the hottest, absolute hottest.
Yeah. One of the most well-known sites and landmarks in the Northern Territory
crocodiles.
That's not so much a landmark, but crocodiles, Not so many crocodiles, though, in Uluru.
Oh, no.
As it's in the middle of the desert. It's an ancient sandstone rock surrounded by springs, waterholes and caves. It has strong traditional and cultural significance to the first peoples of Australia, and the Ananu people were the traditional owners and are the traditional owners, of that land.
It used to be referred to back then as Ayers Rock, and people actually used to climb it.
You keep saying my next
Sorry
sentences.
about that.
A British explorer in 1873 who first discovered Uluru named it in English Ayers Rock, but its cultural name is Uluru, and Australia has finally done the right thing in not calling it Ayers Rock any longer. The first track to the rock was built in 1948 and it became a tourism spot. In 1980, when the Chamberlains went there, there was a campsite tourists could stay in within the national park grounds. That you can no longer. There's no longer big camping spots there. And as you
sacred?
said,
it's
incredibly sacred.
Yeah.
And finally, the stupid white people of Australia have actually realised and cared about the fact that the Indigenous people, it is an incredibly sacred site to them, and we shouldn't just be treating it as a tourist hotspot.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still, there is a lot of tourism there and it is beautiful to see, but the way tourists experience it now is very different and in a very a sentimental way.
Respectful.
And respectful, exactly. As you said, you used to be able to climb the rock. They actually put in a metal chain so people could hoist themselves up and climb Uluru. And that was only banned in 2019.
What?
Yeah.
2019?
Yeah.
I thought it must have been the early 2000s. Oh, no. 2019.
Yes.
Oh, that's horrific.
So it was
horrendous.
It is
Correct
horrendous.
use of the word horrendous.
And when they finally said, okay, we're definitely not letting anyone do this anymore, thousands of people went there in the days and weeks beforehand to
do it before it was. Oh my God, that's awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So my family went to Uluru when I was in prep. I was 6.
I probably went at the same time.
That would have been 1994.
Yep.
You were a small baby then.
But I was, I reckon I probably went about the age of 6.
Yeah.
Remember going with my nan.
And that was a time when we weren't respectful or
no.
I was going to say weren't understanding, but no, it's correct to say we weren't respectful of the fact that the First Nations people didn't want us to be doing that. And
we also didn't have, sorry to interrupt, but in our schools, I was not taught at all about Indigenous culture.
Exactly.
We learned about Ned Kelly, Burke and Wills. We didn't learn about Indigenous culture at my school.
Exactly.
So I don't think that we had until you actually learn yourself.
Yeah. And in the early 90s, my parents weren't actively disrespectful by any means. It wasn't, as you said, it wasn't really spoken about.
No.
Certainly in the same way it is now, which is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But my dad and my sister climbed the rock and I was going to, but was too scared because I was 6.
Yeah.
And I got a T-shirt, from the little tourist thing that said, "This little black duck didn't climb Ayers Rock," is what the T-shirt said.
Right.
And I only remember that because I found a photo when we were cleaning out the family house a couple of years ago of me in that T-shirt. And I was like, yeah, girl, good on you.
Yeah.
Loudly and proudly say that you did climb Uluru.
Wow.
So there we
I just still can't believe 2019. That's wild. To
Yeah,
me.
remember it was like a big thing. Pauline Hanson was trying to get that
Yeah,
changed
yeah,
so people
right.
still could. And I'm pretty sure she went and climbed it or said she was going to. Apologies if that's incorrect.
Nah, fuck her.
Nah, fuck her. Anyway, back to the Chamberlains. They went to Uluru in 1980 in August. They planned to stay for 3 nights. It was very busy being school holidays, so there were lots of people around. They set up camp towards the back of the designated camping area because they had a 9-week-old baby. They didn't want to disturb other campers. They set up next to a sand dune known as Sunrise Hill and close to a picnic table where there was like a barbecue area and stuff.
Sunrise Hill sounds a lot more poetic than I showed you on Phillip Island, the hill called Spew Hill, because a lot of people run up it and spew. We've got culture too. You're saying Phillip Islanders don't have culture? Try again, sweetie.
Phillip Island's got culture. There was only one floodlight in the communal barbecue area. That was the only light in the whole. It's obviously in the outback. There is, no street lights.
Wow.
The family of 5 all slept in the one tent. Azaria slept in a white wicker basket at her brother Reagan's feet. They slept there for the first night, and then the first morning they came out and met other campers who were staying in the same area.
Did you say, sorry, she was 9 months old or 9 weeks?
Weeks.
9 weeks old.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God.
Baby.
Yeah.
And because of that, when they went out and, met the other campers, there was lots of fussing and oohing and ahhing over the tiny little baby Azaria. That first day, the family went exploring in their car and took quite a few family photos. Michael was a keen photographer and they wanted to, capture memories of this family holiday. They returned to the campground later that evening. Lindy bathed all the children and dressed Azaria in a disposable nappy, singlet, a white jumpsuit and a knitted matinee jacket. It was white with pale lemon, like scalloped edging.
What's a matinee jacket?
Actually,
just something for the afternoon.
Every time I wrote it, I kept thinking, go and Google what that looks like. But then I was too.
It must just be. Maybe it's like an afternoon kind of outfit.
I'm picturing like a little. To go to the matinee. It must be. She's got like a smoker's jacket on, 9-week-old baby.
Her and half.
I'm kind of picturing like a cardigan. I'm just quickly googling.
Yeah, because I imagine. Like.
Yes.
It's a cardigan.
It's like a little knitted baby's cardigan.
Yes.
Like
okay.
here, look.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Proper,
yep.
Exactly what you'd be picturing a little baby in the 80s. A little knitted.
Sure.
Cardi.
Okay.
She was also wearing, Lindy dressed Azaria with a pair of little white knitted booties underneath the jumpsuit so that she didn't have to remove them every time Azaria's nappy needed changing.
Oh, and after the show.
Exactly. You've got to have your shoes inside your tights after a matinee.
After the show.
A tired 7-year-old Reagan was put to bed in the tent while his 2 siblings remained up with their parents. At around 6:30 p.m, the Chamberlains joined some of the other campers at the communal barbecue area. Lindy and Michael chatted with another young couple in particular named Greg and Sally Lowe, and the 4 of them all got along really well.
Oh.
Sally noted that Lindy appeared really cheerful and happy, and she had that new mum glow. Azaria was struggling to settle, but she eventually stopped fussing and dozed off around 8 p.m. when Lindy announced to the group she was going to put her baby into bed.
Sure.
She carried Azaria down.
It would have been dark by then as well, wouldn't it?
I assume
8 p.m. in August.
Oh, in August, of course. Yeah, for sure. Lindy carried Azaria down the 25 metres to their tent, the front of which was visible from the picnic area. Greg Lowe, one of the new friends they had just made, saw Lindy kneel down and enter the tent. A short time later, he saw her leave the tent and walk towards the family's car and then come back to the campsite with Aiden in tow.
Okay.
Aiden.
Yep.
No, sorry, 7-year-old Aiden. He was hungry, so she was going to make him some baked beans. When she was making the baked beans, Aiden said he thought he heard the baby crying. Sally Lowe, their new friend, heard it too, but Lindy was insistent that Azaria was asleep.
Right.
Her husband Michael told her to go and check just in case, so she did so, and Lindy went down to the tent on her own. And this is when those words were screamed into the quiet night. Oh my God, a dingo's got my baby.
Oh my God.
Now, just a couple of little quick facts on dingoes.
They're dogs.
Well, they're wild dogs.
Oh,
so, yeah, they look like dogs.
Yeah.
Like they look like Red Dog from the movie Red Dog. It looks like a
from the film
dingo.
Red Dog.
But they're very much not like a domestic dog that we know. They're more
I kind of
like,
think like hyenas and them are kind of similar in a way. Like, the way they kind of look and
yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
Yeah.
They're more like in their nature, maybe a bit more like a wolf, but also they're quite feline like in there. And maybe that's a bit more the hyena thing you're thinking. Like they're quite like agile and
foxy.
Like kind of like big foxes.
I'm not saying sexy, I'm saying
They're
like
foxy ladies.
foxy ladies.
Them dingoes, foxy ladies. They travel in packs of up to 10 and around Uluru live in lairs. I think they do everywhere, but I've just looked into them at Uluru. Lairs like caves in the area, and they hunt at night. They were very much known to be native in the area, and there were lots of signs up saying not to feed them.
Yeah, sure.
The dingoes that lived at and around Uluru had grown accustomed to humans and often hunted around campsites for food. So by no means like domesticated, but they were used to humans being there and they would hang around the campsites because they knew they had food.
Yeah, like Diggs. He could be a wild dog.
Exactly.
Imagine him in the wild.
Yeah. Oh my God, genuinely more terrifying than a dingo if I came across that thing in the wild. The Chamberlains had purposely left all their food in their car so as not to attract dingoes. Like it was very much known not to do so. Now, in the 2 months prior to this date, in August 1980, there had been 6 incidents of wild dog bites at Uluru.
Oh, really? That many?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The day before, 3 children had actually been bitten in separate incidents. None of those incidents were like very, very serious, but
and you need to get like some sort of rabies shot because it's like, is that what it's called now? Tetanus shot?
Is tetanus and rabies the same thing?
I don't know. But yeah, but having like that, if it's a wild animal and it bites you, like it's biting in any country. If a wild animal
coming and biting a child.
And you know what? I don't think it's right.
I actually don't think it's right.
No, I don't think it's right.
When wild animals bite children.
I think dingoes are sexy though. Foxy.
Foxy.
Shit.
Yeah, accidentally
It's a sound bite.
Sexy again.
Maybe you found this out about me now. Dingoes are so sexy.
It's like so many straight males' sexual awakening was Jessica Rabbit, like a cartoon rabbit.
Mine was Miss Piggy.
Of course it was. It still is to this day. You awaken sexually to Miss Piggy every day.
I'm not asleep yet, Miss Piggy. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I don't know what that's meant to mean, but I don't like it.
I like it.
All right. Lindy said that she saw a dingo. So when she yelled out, "A dingo's got my baby."
So she heard crying, walked down to check on Azaria, and then saw the dingo walking away from her.
Again, stop saying my next sentence.
Oh, sorry.
She said that she had seen a dingo walking away from their tent as she walked down towards it. Right. She said it looked like it was coming out of the tent, but she kind of thought, no, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Then when she went inside, she found Reagan asleep and Azaria's basket empty.
Oh, holy shit.
There were drops of blood on the floor of the tent and the basket's blankets were strewn across the tent and ripped. Her dummy was in the tent and it was still warm.
Oh, my God.
Michael and other campers got torches and went searching in the direction Lindy said she had seen the dingo go. And when I say went searching, just kind of quickly went off in that direction. But then Michael came back and stayed with Lindy at the campsite. One of the men who was helping look found what looked like track marks just over the sand dune where they were staying.
Oh, okay.
And an imprint in the sand that looked like something had been placed there. Park rangers were called and soon after police, who would both note that the imprint looked like the pattern of a knitted or woven garment.
Okay.
The police officer, a police officer who was there, also noted paw prints and what looked like drag marks in the dirt around the tent.
It's so heartbreaking. Imagine the terror of being a parent in that moment would just be...
Well, you don't know yet whether, what the parents might have known about this situation or not.
I know. But yeah, I know.
Other campers said they had seen dingoes that day, like at and around their campground. They were seen following campers to bins after they disposed of food scraps, and one family had a dingo come right up to their van door around 8 p.m. that night and actually took a photo of it.
Oh, right.
8 p.m., which is, remember, that's when Lindy went to put Azaria to bed. Lindy herself noted a sighting earlier that day, not at the campground, but at the base of Uluru in an area called, I think I've written it wrong, so I don't want to use it.
Beep.
She said that she had seen a single dingo watching their family from a rock kind of above them, and she'd pointed it out at the time as being really creepy. She would later tell police it was as if the dog had been casing the baby.
Oh, my God.
300 people joined the search for baby Azaria that night.
There were 300 rangers and
police, everyone at the campsite.
Oh, my God, 300.
Including Aboriginal trackers with expertise in dingo tracking. But with all the human footprints, they couldn't find any distinguishable tracks. What made the search even more desperate, if that's possible, was the fact that Azaria had been recovering from a cold, and given how cold the night was, so even though it's
really hot during the day,
exactly,
but then the temperatures.
So I looked it up, and at that time of the year, the average overnight temperature is 5 to 6 degrees Celsius, which is 42, 43 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, freezing.
Cold
Yeah, not freezing, but very, very cold.
Close.
Yeah.
It was very likely that even if baby Azaria had somehow been dropped by the dingo, she wouldn't survive the night out in the cold.
Oh, God.
She was 9 weeks old.
9 weeks old with a cold.
The Chamberlains remained at the campsite as the hundreds of people searched. Michael commented that Azaria was likely dead already, and whatever happened was God's will.
Oh. Michael said this?
The dad, yeah.
On that night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
One person said to Lindy that they thought that people were searching too far and should be looking under closer scrubs and bushes, to which Lindy replied, I will have to live with this the rest of my life, and I don't want to think that the baby could have been out there and simply because we didn't look in the right place it would die. So they did go and
Weird thing to say that night.
Isn't it?
Yeah. To say
I'm going to have to live with this
for the rest of my life. That's a weird thing to say.
She's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird behaviour.
So Michael and Lindy did go and look in the shrub. They disappeared on their own for about 15 to 20 minutes. And there was no sign of her. At 1:30 a.m, with no sign of Azaria uncovered at all, the search was called off for the night because of just a lack of light.
Yeah.
And resumed again at 5:30 a.m. The next day, the tent was examined. It revealed several animal hairs on Azaria's basket and blanket, as well as blood stains on the floor, like I said, and some items like clothing, a sleeping bag, and Azaria's blanket, which, as I mentioned, had been torn.
Yeah.
Lindy and Michael agreed to front the media. Michael told reporters, quote, "Thank you, all of you, for the efforts you are making to find our baby. Although we cannot believe there is hope any longer of finding her alive. I am a man of God, a minister of religion. I know that nothing happens in the world unless the good Lord wills it should. I know our baby has passed from us into heaven. My wife and I must not be sad, but jubilant that our little daughter is safe in the arms of Jesus."
Was this the next day? When was this?
It was within the next couple of days.
Oh my God.
I haven't written down, exactly when it was.
Okay. That's an insane thing to say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we are famously very much not religious people, so
yes, but if you've lost your daughter,
judgment, but it is interesting from my point of view. He then described how they knew from the sharp, jagged marks in Azaria's blanket that she'd been attacked by a, quote, very powerful beast. In this media interview, Lindy wore a big dark pair of sunglasses and held Reagan in front of the cameras. She explained how she had witnessed the dingo emerge from the tent shortly after putting Azaria to bed. She said, quote, "There wasn't time to go and tell people. I just yelled out, 'The dingo's got my baby.'" And it's this interview where that line's become very famous because it wasn't just reports. She had yelled that out. She said she did. She's wearing the big dark sunglasses.
Yeah, I remember
That's
photos
a very
of
kind
that.
of famous image, more infamous probably.
Yeah.
Lindy and Michael never joined the search efforts again after that first night. And police stated that they didn't make any inquiries into how the search was going. After 2 nights, they said they knew she wouldn't be found and they wanted to go home.
No.
They spent the morning of August 19 praying, then drove home to Queensland.
Oh, my God.
But not before they stopped to take some photos around Uluru.
Photos?
Mm-hmm.
Family photos?
Yeah.
Oh.
None of this went down well with the media or the public.
No.
Their immediate acceptance of what had happened to Azaria and their composure was seen as, to put it lightly, not right.
No.
Not right. And police started to wonder about this too. They said Lindy gave conflicting details to different people, including whether she said she saw something in the dingo's mouth or not, whether she saw it coming out of the tent or just walking away from it.
Yeah.
Journalists actually went and got comments from experts on dingoes and dingo behaviour, many of whom said it was highly unlikely that a dingo would take a baby, although they wouldn't rule out the possibility. Mm-hmm. One of the investigating sergeant that was kind of in charge of the investigation at this point strongly disputed that a dingo would have been capable of carrying a 9-year-old baby for any great distance. To demonstrate his point, he filled a bucket with sand and attempted to lift it in his own mouth and was unable to hold it up for longer than a minute.
It's a bizarre way to test that theory.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah,
but you're not a dingo.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Okay.
fucking weird?
That's weird.
After 3 days of searching and no sign of the missing baby, it was publicly announced that there was no possibility of recovering Azaria alive.
Oh, my God.
At this same time, park rangers started shooting dingoes and wild dogs around Uluru and then to send their remains for analysis in the hopes they might reveal something and like whether there were any contents in their stomachs that could reveal something. Exactly 1 week after Azaria went missing, something did turn up. A photographer was hiking at Uluru, about 5 kilometres from the campsite and 400 metres from the rock Lindy said she had seen the creepy dingo. Mm-hmm. The hiker came across a baby's jumpsuit and a torn-up disposable nappy. Oh. The jumpsuit was crumpled and lying face up with blood visible around the neckline. It had press studs down the front, all of which appeared to the hiker to be undone, and inside the jumpsuit was a singlet, which was also covered in blood. The hiker didn't touch these items. He'd heard about Azaria's.
Yeah, sure. So just left it how it was. So.
Left it how it was and immediately went and got police.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not tampering with evidence.
Well, yes, the hiker didn't. But the police who were called picked up the items, finding there were booties inside the jumpsuit, as Lindy had described she had dressed Azaria.
Right.
One of the sleeves of the jumpsuits had a large rip and the neckline appeared to have been torn or cut but was otherwise intact. The singlet that was found inside the jumpsuit had 2 small punctures through its back and the nappy was torn but contained no bloodstains. And there was no evidence of human tissue on any of the items. No canine saliva was found either.
Oh.
Oh my God, you're right, Dick.
Yeah, just
ran into me.
Ran into it. He walked into a bin yesterday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, good.
Someone was laughing at
You
it.
heard me say canine saliva.
Yeah, I know.
So it does me.
Yeah, it does me.
It had rained in the 12 hours before the discovery. Have you been to Uluru?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, a very long time ago though. When I was like really little.
I have been there when it has rained, which apparently, according to the park ranger there, they say 1% of tourists get to see it when it rains.
Really?
It was phenomenal.
It would have been so beautiful. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah. Oh, that's.
I've got to show you. Maybe I'll post things actually on their Instagram story. So if you look up or if you've been and seen pictures of Uluru, it's always red. It's like this beautiful red colour. But in the rain, it looks like a kind of a grey. It looks like a completely different colour. And they're full on waterfall, like full on waterfalls.
Wow. And with the sun and everything, it would be so beautiful.
Well, yeah, but, there's not much sun when it's raining.
Yes, okay,
It comes from the clouds. But it looks completely
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
It's beautiful. And it was just so funny because they were like at the whole national park and all the places you could stay around. So it was like no one had umbrellas.
Yeah, of course.
All. So it was like everyone was just walking around in the rain. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Also, do you know another word for umbrella is bumper stock?
No.
How good's that?
Bumper stock.
Yeah, found that out recently. Just thought I'd give
Brolly,
you a little tidbit.
as we say.
Or brolly. Okay, sorry. Back to it had rained. They didn't have their bumper stocks. So after the police officer picked up the garments, looked inside, found the booties, and then realised he probably shouldn't have picked it up. So put it back down and tried to place it how he'd found it, kind of purposely tried to place it like that.
Right.
Now, the media was given permission to broadcast images of the garments, which were shown laid out side by side. That led the public to question how a dingo could remove an infant from its clothing while leaving everything relatively intact. So everybody said they were kind of bite marks.
Yeah, they would have been ripped apart.
Like a tear in the sleeve.
Yeah. What was the purpose of showing them? Just an update to the case, I guess. Like it seems very weird though to show garments and go, this is an update.
I suppose that was their way of going, because there was so much media attention into it, of going, huge. Oh, look, there's been this discovery.
Yeah.
Lindy and Michael Chamberlain learnt of the discovery via the news.
Oh, wow. That's insane.
Isn't that horrific?
Yeah. There's been an update in the case about their daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A radio journalist called Lindy, and Lindy spoke to her. She being Lindy, said she wasn't surprised by the state of her daughter's clothes, as she had previously seen dingoes attack cattle and knew what they were capable of.
Lindy said that?
Yep. In a TV interview, she calmly explained that dingoes use their paws-like hands to peel back the skin of their prey,
oh my God.
Quote, like an orange. Again, her saying this and her demeanour while saying it did not help people's opinions of her.
No, because you're talking about your baby.
Being
peeled back like an orange.
And being like, well, yeah, dingoes can use their paws. So, that's what happened. Yeah, they undressed her and then ate her.
Seen it with cattle.
About her
That's bizarre.
9-week-old baby.
Yeah.
Investigators kept digging into the case. They spoke to a doctor who had treated Azaria shortly before their trip, I assume for the cold, but I didn't find out why. And this doctor said he had been concerned as Lindy hadn't fed her for 8 hours. And this was the day of the checkup. He also noted that he was horrified that Azaria was dressed in all black at the checkup.
Oh, okay.
Very rare.
Yeah,
for a
really
baby.
rare. All black.
I look at that and go, well, sure, why not? But
it does seem
they never are. Babies are never
in all black. No. Melbourne babies, am I right?
Very true. A little North Face puffer jacket. Yeah. Now, this is where the name and the origin of the name Azaria first comes into it.
Yep.
This doctor told police that he had looked up the meaning of the name Azaria and in a book of baby names discovered that Azaria means sacrifice in the wilderness.
What?
The investigating police officer tried to find the book the doctor had read this in, but the only copy in the local library had been lost.
Sacrifice in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So when you were like, Azaria's interesting, what does that mean? I was like, hold, we'll get there.
You went,
wait.
Wait.
The investigator noted 2 other pivotal things. I mean, I'm calling these the 2. Obviously, there were lots of things investigated, but I'm pulling out 2 pivotal things. He concluded that the blanket that was ripped was too thick to have been done so by canine teeth, and it appeared that it had been cut rather than ripped or bitten.
Yeah, okay. That's a big difference.
Yeah. The second thing he noted was that the discovery of Azaria's clothes that week later had been at the exact site the Chamberlains had already admitted to going to that day.
Oh,
so
okay.
The day that she was taken. So the investigation continued, and I've pulled out some notable parts in my humble opinion. Is it in my humble opinion or in my honest opinion?
I think humble opinion.
IMHO
I think you're saying humble opinion because I'm humble.
But IMHO, I suppose it can mean either, can't it?
My honest opinion. Yeah, I think in my honest opinion is IMHO.
I think maybe that's a bit of a something that's said incorrectly. Like people go,
Yeah.
my honest opinion, but you
Yeah.
don't need an honest opinion.
Yeah.
An opinion is opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Every so often I just like to just
What the hell?
dissect the English
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
All right. So some notable parts. Investigators seized Lindy's clothes from a dry cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
So clothes that she'd had on the trip, her friend had taken to the dry cleaner for her.
Yep.
And the friend apparently told police that she had noticed blood stains on the tracksuit pants.
Oh.
So these were seized. Tests were done with dingoes at wildlife reserves. They were given meat in disposable nappies. These were torn to shreds. So in these experiments, the nappies were torn to shreds.
They're not going to use the police chief to put it in his mouth?
Well, in his nappy.
His nappy.
Yeah, I think it was his disposable nappy.
yeah.
They used it. Yeah. There was much more damage to that nappy than there had been at the one found at Uluru.
Oh, okay, sure.
Another experiment had a goat. It's just yucky and weird. A goat's carcass dressed as Azaria would have been, so like wearing a singlet, a jumpsuit, everything, nappy. And when this one was given to a single dingo, the nappy was in much the same state as the one that had been found. Mm-hmm. The jumpsuit was torn and chewed on, but the dingo managed to get the goat carcass out without undoing the jumpsuit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it was
that's
kind of-
interesting.
the meat in the nappies was like, whoa, no, definitely not. That's torn to shreds. That couldn't have been the case. But then this one with the goat's carcass in it
Somehow.
kind of was like, oh, okay, maybe it is possible.
Oh.
Lindy and Michael were formally interviewed by police. They said the fact that Lindy hadn't heard Azaria cry is what made, so they being Lindy and Michael, said the reason they staunchly and kind of straight away believed that she was dead is because that when Lindy was walking towards the tent, saw a dingo walking away, she didn't hear Azaria crying. So she's gone, well, I know that the dingo took the baby out of the tent and the baby wasn't crying, so I concluded she was dead already.
Right, okay.
And Lindy insisted over and over that baby Azaria had been wearing the white and yellow matinee jacket that had never been found. On September 2, so it was August 16 that and this happened, on September 2, police announced that there would be an official inquiry into Azaria's disappearance. While no charges were laid, the Chamberlains were terrorised by the media and the public.
Yeah, and they're back in Queensland at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, you're back home.
Their home was staked out. People were honking and yelling at all times of the night. Tabloid magazines were running gross headlines. Theories included that the parents had killed Azaria because she was sick or possibly disabled, or that one of the brothers had killed her and they were covering for them.
Chamberlain.
Oh, it's exactly. I wonder if that's kind of why that theory came about, because that's a theory in Chamberlain as well. The family's religion and church came under intense scrutiny and judgment. A lot of misinformation swirled about the church, which, I mean, there still is. It's not kind of widely understood or known about, certainly not in 1980.
Yeah.
Misinformation went around that their church was linked to the People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ. 2 years earlier, the leader of that church, Jim Jones, do you recognise that name?
No.
Ordered the mass murder of his followers at Jonestown.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
We'll do Jonestown as an episode
Yes.
another time. So this false connection to that church led to speculation that Azaria had been murdered as a human sacrifice. And the fact that Lindy had been dressing Azaria in black was a recognition of her sacrificial status. Now, Lindy was a seamstress, as we said, and often drew criticism for the clothes that she would make and wear. Being the pastor's wife, people thought she shouldn't dress so boldly. She made a lot of big, colourful clothes in bold colours and that were not seen as kind of traditional. Mm-hmm. She made dozens of outfits for Azaria in, even just, she'd only been alive 9 weeks. And she had made the black outfit. She'd actually made that for Reagan, and Azaria got it as a hand-me-down. It was revealed that the first time she had dressed Azaria in this black outfit, she herself wore a matching black and red outfit, which had been negatively commented on at the time. So that's why this came out, because people were like, oh my God, hang on, maybe they're linked to this kind of sacrificial cult thing. Remember when she wore black and dressed her baby in black? How weird was that?
Mm.
The whole Chamberlain family and their church were being tormented daily. There were death threats. There was red paint strewn across their home and the church. People would howl at them on the street.
Oh, God.
One of the most disturbing parts I find is that 7-year-old Aiden was approached by a random lady on the street one day demanding he tell her the truth about what had happened.
Oh, poor little Aiden.
7-year-old.
My
How
God.
fucked up is that? Lindy spoke about the treatment in an interview. Again, this didn't seem to help people warm to her. She did lots of media interviews and she was always having a go at how she was being treated.
Right.
And this just made people dislike her even more.
Sure. Well, yeah, if she's not talking about, the baby, it's like, she's
and
talking about.
It's like, stop doing media interviews to say, leave us alone when you're not, we don't feel like you care about this.
No, yeah.
The coronial inquest began in October of that year. While it was on, newspaper sales were up $40,000 a day.
$40,000 a day?
Yes.
In the 80s?
It was a media circus.
Wow.
Right, so notable parts of the inquiry. Lindy was described as a loving and caring mother. Also, she was 32 at the time. I don't think I noted that.
So young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bomb threats were made to the motel the Chamberlains were staying in during the inquest. So the inquest was in the Northern Territory.
Oh, okay.
They were up there for it. Bomb threats were made to the motel they were staying in, and one direct death threat against Lindy was actually phoned into the court.
Oh, my God.
In the inquiry, the true meaning of Azaria's name was discussed. The parents said it meant blessed by God. A Hebrew studies expert dispelled the rumour that it meant sacrifice in the wilderness.
Oh.
For what it's worth, I looked it up there wasn't Google.
Yeah.
In 1980, but just for what it's worth, for interest's sake.
Yeah.
The website The Bump, which has, baby name meanings, says, quote, Azaria means helped by God, or Yahweh was helped, delivered from the biblical name Azariah, combining Azar, which means help, and Yah, which means God. Though masculine in the Bible, Azaria is often used for girls today, symbolising divine assistance, and famously became known in Australia due to the Chamberlain case.
Oh, wow, okay.
It says on the website, despite false claims, it meant sacrifice in the wilderness. So that claim was never backed up. They said it meant blessed by God, and a Hebrew studies expert said it does mean blessed by God.
Yeah. Wow.
Also in the inquiry, dingo experts said studies found the animals could carry up to 9 kilos in their mouth for long distances. So old mate carrying a bucket of sand in his mouth was dispelled.
Sure.
An expert said a solitary dingo could consume a mammal of Azaria's weight in under 20 minutes, or even faster if pairs or groups of dingoes were involved. They usually consume their prey entirely, making it really hard to identify a location where the feed took place.
Oh, okay.
Entirely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if Azaria had been taken by a dingo, it was highly unlikely any trace of her body would ever be found more than half an hour after her disappearance.
Oh, my God.
Their digestion is 10 to 24 hours. So even when, I said in the days following they were shooting dingoes and taking them for examination,
it wouldn't have been found.
Too late anyway.
Yeah.
He described the dingoes around Uluru as particularly dangerous as they maintained their hunting skills as they got in the wild while also being fed by tourists.
Yes.
Resulting in a situation where they were not tame but also not quite wild.
That's really interesting. Yeah. And that's why they're watching and everything because they're waiting. Yeah.
This expert also dismissed any of the experiments that were conducted with the dingoes at zoos and wildlife reserves because captive dingoes exhibit very different behaviours from wild ones.
Okay, sure.
His report concluded that a dingo could have taken a baby, removed its clothing and consumed it whole with ease.
Wow, that's kind of shocking, isn't it?
Removing the clothing just seems...
I don't understand.
I've got an image of a little dingo, like a bluey character.
Yeah,
dingo,
yeah.
just like unzipping a little baby's jumpsuit and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what it meant.
No.
The coroner made an Australian first decision in allowing his findings to be broadcast live. He said it was, I'll say the quote later, but he was like, right, I'm just going to let everyone listen to this and watch on TV live, so we just get this over and done with. The media circus was so wild. He was like, right, everyone can sit at home and listen to exactly what I have to say, and then we move on.
Wow.
The coroner concluded that Azaria had been taken by a dingo.
Wow.
Lindy nor Michael were responsible in any way. But if you are all... Oh, hang on. Sorry. Finish this sentence first.
Yeah.
He did find that the tears in the blanket were consistent with a sharp object such as scissors and that there had been soil in the clothing that had been found.
So dirt, like from the area, yeah.
He said there was a possibility that an unknown person could have come across the dingo with Azaria and tried to rescue her. Then finding she was dead, possibly buried her, but later got out the items of clothing to leave for a hiker to find. This was just a kind of a
theory.
Speculation.
Yeah.
It wasn't, this is what I've decided has happened. This could have happened. But very much said a dingo took her and Lindy and Michael were not involved. The coroner was very critical of the fact that numerous dingo attacks hadn't sparked rangers to do more to protect tourists, and he made some recommendations around this. He addressed the Chamberlains directly, saying, "To you, Pastor and Mrs. Chamberlain, and through you to Aidan and Reagan, may I extend my deepest sympathy. You have not only suffered the loss of your beloved child in the most tragic circumstances, but you have all been subjected to months of innuendos, suspicion, and probably the most malicious gossip ever witnessed in this country. I have taken the unusual step of permitting these proceedings to be televised today in the hope that, by direct and accurate communication, such innuendos, suspicion, and gossip may cease."
That's a really good, if this is what the judge decided, that's a really good thing to do.
We ran out of battery.
Let's take a quick break.
Let's take a break. Now, Northern Territory Police weren't happy about the criticism from the coroner nor the findings handed down. They actually told the media that the case would remain open. It just wasn't being actively investigated.
Oh, okay.
So the thing with we've discussed this in other cases before, but a coroner's inquest in Australia, I'm not sure about anywhere else, it is a legal thing. It's obviously in a court, but the coroner makes recommendations and then the public prosecutor can decide to lay charges or not.
Right, based on that.
Based on that. So the coroner's saying, yes, it was definitely a dingo. We're not investigating any people. That doesn't actually have the authority to close a case. The prosecutor and police can decide to keep it open and say they're not taking the coroner's recommendations. I mean, they did take the recommendations in not laying charges against Lindy Chamberlain, but didn't actually close the case.
Right, okay, so it's still open at this point.
Yeah. Now, later that year, a British forensic scientist brought forward new information. He had gone on and examined this case on his own, and he found there was an incision at the... So he did a full deep dive investigation on his own.
From he came over to do it, or it was like a...
Well, that... I don't know.
I shouldn't pull you up on it. I'm so sorry.
You didn't pull me up on it. You were just asking a question, and for that I love you. He hadn't been involved in the initial investigation or coroner's inquiry, but he kind of decided to look into it on his own. And he found on the jumpsuit of Azaria's that was found.
That was found, yep. And the police officer put it back in the pack, yep.
This British guy found that there was an incision at the neck of the jumpsuit that hadn't been investigated, and he believed that was consistent with having been cut by scissors.
Oh, okay.
Or caused, an incision caused by scissors.
Right. Sharp instrument, if you will. I will.
And you will. He also found what he believed to be a small human adult handprint in the bloodstains.
Oh.
He claimed that there was a distinct possibility that Azaria's clothes had been buried and then later dug up and placed near the walking track to be found. Right. He was of the opinion that a dingo was not involved at all. On September 19, 1981, so about 13 months after.
Oh, yeah, okay.
After Azaria went missing, it was announced that the investigation was being actively reopened.
Actively reopened?
Yep, so they were actually going to start investigating again.
So the Lindy's walking free. Michael,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's
no
been nothing
culpability
happened.
in the eyes of the
The
law.
dingoes are breathing a sigh of relief as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
When informed of this development and the fact that it was due to this British forensic, what did I say he was? Yes, forensic scientist. Lindy responded coolly, "I didn't know there were any dingo experts in London."
Wow, that's
Bit of a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like this forensic expert has found that dingoes definitely didn't do this around. So it's interesting. Didn't know there were any in London for this native Australian animal that Australian researchers don't know much about.
That's so interesting. Yeah, wow.
So when the investigation was reopened, the family's car was taken in for testing, which it hadn't been before. And what was found was a sticky substance under the dashboard.
Oh.
Forensics said it wouldn't be blood as it would have dried. Blood would have dried much more than that.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. But they did find confirmed blood stains in other parts of the car. During a search of the Chamberlain's house, police also seized a small coffin that Michael had used as a prop during an anti-smoking campaign at the church.
Oh, okay.
Although it was dismissed as having anything to do with Azaria's case, word of the fact that it existed and in the house got out and the rumour mill went mental.
Absolutely. It's not a good look. And also Azaria wearing black and everything as well. It's got some really – there's some strange undertones happening here.
Yeah. On November 18, that same year, 1981, it was announced that based on new evidence, the findings of the previous coronial inquest had been quashed.
Oh.
And a new coronial inquest had been ordered. So they've essentially said, we think there's enough new information or new evidence now, not to lay charges, but to have another inquest to see if we could lay charges.
This would be pretty uncommon as well.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there will have been, but I can't remember a time where there have been, like immediately within 1 year, 2 coronial inquiries into the same thing. Like usually, even when there is a second coronial investigation after one has already been, it's years and years and years later when they go, well, hang on. Like with the when we spoke about the Claremont killer.
Yes, yeah.
Years later, there are a few because it was like, right, well, there have been changes to DNA and forensics and stuff.
Yeah,
this
there's
is
advancements
just
in technology.
Within a year, they've gone, no, we reckon there's enough to do an inquiry again now.
I don't think even Feathers McGraw had another coronial inquest after the wrong trousers. I don't think he did.
Well, they were the wrong trousers.
The wrong
So
trousers.
it was confirmed then. It
was
was proven that they were the wrong trousers.
I've just got Wallace and Gromit.
You've just got it.
I just got that episode.
You clocked it. 2026, you've done it.
Just got that episode
It's
of
made
Wallace
it.
and Grom. Wallace and Grom. I call it Grom.
Wallace and Grom.
There used to be these surfer boys on Phillip Island that their thing became calling each other a grommet.
Oh, I hate that
Isn't it
word.
gross? You grommet.
Oh,
It's better than
like
gooch.
a surfer word.
It's better than gooch.
Stop saying that. Okay. What's yours? Do you have any words like that that really like scratch your brain wrong?
No, not really. No, I don't have one that kind of irks me. You would have lots.
That's mostly the pronunciations of things,
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
word itself I hate.
Yeah.
What's your favourite word?
Grommet.
No, it's not.
Gooch.
No, it's not.
I like the word thoroughly.
Oh,
It sounds nice.
You'd love the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Yeah, I do. That's my favourite musical of all time.
How does it go?
Hello, I'm Thorough.
Keep going.
Nice to meet you. Let's look through this thoroughly. Let's go with you.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah, no, I don't remember
Hello, I'm Thorough. That's great.
Yeah.
Not hello, I'm Millie.
No, Thorough is the name of the character.
That's actually beautiful, and I can't wait to see that when it comes back. Thoroughly Modern Thorough comes back to Australia next year. Right. New inquest was ordered, and it started almost a year after the first had. So within the year. Notable moments that came out in this coronial inquiry. DNA testing wasn't around yet in 1981, so the blood stains in the car couldn't be tested to match. Pardon me.
Oh, pardon me as well.
Dip made a noise and I said pardon me. Couldn't be tested to like match to see whose they were.
Okay.
It was the ones that were confirmed bloodstains, you could see that it was human blood, obviously, so that was confirmed. But the sticky substance couldn't be really proven what it was, and you couldn't see whose blood it was.
Yeah, okay.
The Chamberlain said that one of their sons regularly got blood noses, like regularly, and they had also once picked up an injured hitchhiker in that car. Okay. So any kind of small bloodstains in the car, they were saying, well, that they're potential answers for that. The bloodstains on Lindy's tracksuit pants, remember I spoke about how they were seized from the dry cleaner? She maintained, and people in the caravan park or in the campsite said she had not been wearing them when Azaria went missing.
Yep.
It was suggested that she could have changed into them when she was back in the tent so that she wouldn't get blood on the sundress that she was wearing. So it was kind of put to the coronial inquiry, well, yeah, she left the barbecue area in a sundress, put on different clothes to kill her baby, and then change back into the sundress.
It's all about timeline. Like, do you know how much time that was in there?
6 to 10 minutes.
Oh, so it was quite a long time that she was gone for.
Yes, but there was also like she was putting a baby down. It's all like this is kind of what's come up through all that. She was gone from 6 to 10 minutes, between 6 and 10 minutes, when she was putting the baby down.
Yes.
So sorry, not when she walked off and said, "Oh my God, Dingo's got my baby."
Got it.
The suggestion is that she took Azaria to the tent, killed her, came back, and then later went to check on her and was like, "Oh no, she's not there."
Because of a crying sound.
Well.
Yep. Okay, sorry.
There's still about a third to go. Buckle in. So she hadn't been wearing tracksuit pants. It was suggested she could have changed into them. She said in the coronial inquiry she did in fact change into them that night, but not until 10 p.m. when she got cold. So Azaria was noticed missing at 8.
Yep.
And she said, no, it wasn't until later that I changed into them, and she denied seeing any bloodstains on them then or when she got her friend to take them to the dry cleaner. Okay. Now, forensic also coming up in this inquiry, forensic experts said that stains in the car under the dash, so the ones that they couldn't confirm whether they were blood or not, it was blood or not, could have been consistent with a baby's throat being slit.
Oh my God! In the car?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
There was also now I don't know why I haven't put this in a dot point. It might come up later, but there was also something about a pair of nail scissors found in the car with human blood stains on them as well.
Sure.
So this kind of became the theory.
Yes, okay.
Now, the coroner found that while the evidence was largely circumstantial, he believed a properly instructed jury could arrive at a verdict.
Right.
He did not believe the evidence suggested a dingo was involved, but that it was consistent with a human killing and burying Azaria in her clothing.
God, so it's completely different from the first.
Opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I feel like kind of just goes to show it depends what experts you bring forward.
Exactly. He wasn't from the UK, was he?
Well, all those dingo experts. The coroner then formally charged Lindy Chamberlain with the murder of her 9-week-old daughter and Michael Chamberlain with being an accessory to murder after the fact.
So this is 13 months after the first, was it? Did you say? Sorry.
No, it was within a year after the first.
A year. Okay.
So hang on, when did I say it started? In November. I've just said it started almost a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Not even like just over a year. Not long over a year after.
So they're breathing easy for that time, and then it's like nope.
Well, except for the fact that their baby's missing.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, if they're guilty.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone, well, a coronial inquest has found they had nothing to do with it. Phew.
Wow.
And now they have been formally charged.
Wow.
With murder.
Not smart casually charged.
Not smart casually. Definitely not casually.
No, definitely not casually charged.
I couldn't even think of what the word for
you did well.
Opposite of formally would be.
It's a hot day, you're fine.
As you guys know from how I like to go dress at the airport, I don't know a casual existence.
No, you'd never know. Yeah. She's her pearls sitting up at the airport.
Yes. Stroking my pearls and drinking my Chandon.
Take 3 hours to get through the metal detectors.
Yes, from all my jewels.
Your jewels.
Okay, they both pleaded not guilty and they were granted bail on a $10,000 surety. Now, this did not go down well, that they were allowed bail at all.
Do you know how much bail was, sorry?
$10,000.
$10,000. Okay,
yes.
Well, that's not much for
But that's not
murder.
It must have been more of a thing in the 80s. These days, it's not like you just wouldn't be given bail for murder.
No, absolutely.
And the whole thing about the surety is much more of an American thing now.
Yeah,
I think. Like it's not. You can put up a surety for like other kind of crimes. I've never heard of a murderer. Oh, sorry, an alleged murderer get bail at all.
Oh well, yeah. There was a thing I was watching recently, and it was like it took place in the 80s, and and she was the person who was accused of murder was put in a prison cell, and then they said it's $100,000 bail to get out. And I was like, what? In the 80s, even you could get out. Yeah, wow. $100,000 was the price, and they came up with it, and we're out.
Well, this is $10,000 for the same thing.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Now the media also did not help. One radio segment about the case, and I have not confirmed which radio station this was, not just because I work in Australian radio, said, so they were doing a report on the case, and the report ended with, quote, "When the trial goes to court, the world might find out just why Lindy Chamberlain cut the throat of her daughter."
Holy shit.
If you know anything about defamation law.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Can't say that, no. But is the word might, is that where they kind of got away with it?
No, because it's the world might find out.
Might find out.
Okay. Not the world will find out if she might have.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So the word alleged needs to come in terms of, I'm forever yelling at the news and other radio stations and stuff when people say allegedly unnecessarily or in the wrong part. Yeah. Or they'll go, a man was allegedly killed when he was hit by a drunk driver. I'm like, no, a man was killed. Yeah. It was allegedly by a drunk driver.
Yes,
He was definitely killed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going on a rant about everyone saying everything wrong today. Okay. Before the trial began, if you can believe it, the story became even juicier. What do you think could have happened before Lindy was set to sit at trial for murder?
Did Lindy and Michael separate or something like that?
No.
Did feathers come back for us? Oh, okay. I'm out of guesses then.
Lindy fell pregnant.
Whoa.
They said they were praying for a baby girl.
Wow.
When her trial started in September 1982, Lindy Chamberlain was 7 months pregnant.
7 months pregnant.
The media fucking loved
Yeah, of course they did.
This.
Yeah.
They focused daily on their reports on Lindy's choice of maternity outfits.
Yeah.
Like, this is a woman standing trial for the murder of her baby, and she's standing trial 7 months pregnant with another baby. Yeah. Like, it is just like media fodder. It's like the editors would have been frothing at the mouth. Like
it's such a famous story as well, and there are so many reasons, obviously, that it is. Like, I know the basics of this story. Yes. I don't know all of this stuff. And I'm not surprised that this was such a big story in the 80s.
And I didn't go into this in my script because I just think it's gross, but it's still part of the story, and it's very much of the time as well. It probably would happen now too.
Yeah.
But she was really criticised a lot as well because of how she looked. She was not, typically feminine.
No.
She had a very short haircut. She wore, as I said, those big sunglasses. Now, remember when we did the episode about Peter Falconio?
Yep.
Joanne Lees, his partner, who the Australian media treated like shit as well, and the public treated like shit as well. That was almost the opposite. They were like, she's too sexy. Why is she being sexy and wearing a tight T-shirt on the news? Lindy was the opposite. They were like, oh, look at this ugly, dowdy mother. Like, there's something off with her because she's like this very straight-faced. I mean, her daughter had died.
Yeah.
People just really, really did not like her.
No.
Really didn't.
No, and I mean, her comments on saying were quite sassy as well. Like,
of
so
course,
she had,
which we have got into. But that's what I thought. Yeah, the fact that she wasn't typically feminine, and was a mother, it was kind of seen as, well, yeah, you don't look like you don't look typically feminine, and you're this weird church lady.
Yeah,
like, I could believe you would have sacrificed your daughter. Oh, like, this was the whole kind of narrative around it.
Yeah.
Right. So the jury for her trial was made up of all white people, and that's despite the Northern Territory's largely Indigenous population.
Okay.
Which is just an interesting note, I thought. The prosecution's case was that Lindy had taken Azaria to the car and slit her throat. Then she and Michael had so as I said before, gone back to the campsite, then been like, oh, I think I can hear Azaria crying. Went back, the dingo's got my baby.
Right.
And that she and Michael had taken and disposed of her body while everyone was out searching.
Wow.
Remember I said there was that kind of 15-minute period where they went off to search on their own?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Experts gave evidence that the bloodstains were not consistent with a dingo attack and that no dingo hairs were found. Remember I said there were 9 individual animal hairs found in the tent? Mm-hmm. They turned out to be of a cat.
Oh, wow.
So I assume they had a pet cat at home.
Yeah, or the cat did it.
Hey,
no one looking at that cat.
Spoilers.
Okay, it was a cat. It was an owl like the staircase.
Yeah, exactly.
The owl theory. I've got my cat theory.
The defence's case was that it had always been that it was a tragic. Sorry, the defence's case was as it had always been that this had been a tragic accident. 2 experts for the defence said that the car bloodstains could have been from a number of other reasons.
Oh, okay.
So, the kid's blood nose, the hitchhiker.
Sure.
They had experts to say, yes, they definitely could have been from either of those things.
Yeah. The hard thing is you can have an expert for everything. That is the thing.
And that's the thing. It's like, there are prosecution experts and defence experts. So you can find someone to go, here's the prosecution expert saying these bloodstains definitely mean this, but someone on the other hand's going, well, no, I'm an expert as well, and I'm saying they definitely mean this.
Yeah.
Witnesses from the campground testified to hearing a baby crying after Lindy returned from putting her to sleep.
Yeah, okay.
So it wasn't just Lindy that said. In fact, if you remember, Lindy said she didn't hear her crying.
Yeah.
Evidence of the dog prints and drag marks found and the imprint in the sand of the clothing were also used as defence witnesses. But it was also proven that the couple had disappeared for that 15 minutes during the search, and this is when they could have hidden the body.
Yeah, okay.
The first sign of emotion from Lindy through this whole thing, now 2 years on, was when pictures of her daughter's blood-stained clothes were shown to the court. She openly wept. Michael Chamberlain was quizzed about why he had described his daughter's death as the will of God. He said on the stand that he couldn't recall making the comment, but as a religious man, he believed that God's will is over all. The trial became the most publicised court case in Australian history, still to this day.
Did you say cameras were allowed in for the... No. Okay.
No. Just in that coronial
one,
the cameras were allowed in for the finding. This trial was dubbed Trial of the Century. And when I read that, I was like, oh, for Australia, I guess, like if I search Trial of the Century. This was 12 years before O.J. Simpson's trial.
Was it really?
Because when I read that this was dubbed the Trial of the Century, I was like,
in Australia,
obviously because of O.J. Simpson, that's been called that, and we've gone, oh, this is ours in Australia. No, this was 12 years before that.
Wow.
This was the original, what was called the Trial of the Century.
Wow.
Yeah. The jury deliberated for 6.5 hours before delivering their verdict on October 29, 1982.
Is it 6 hours? Isn't a lot for this?
No, not for a murder trial.
Like you think about
That's
the mushroom
circumstantial.
cook. Like you think,
It was
that
9
was
days.
9 days.
Yeah, 10 days, I think, yeah. Both Lindy and Michael Chamberlain were found.
How'd you do that? Oh, sorry.
I just brought out my drum set. Guilty.
Oh, my God.
In scenes I have never experienced nor heard of, a reporter who had been covering the trial jumped out of his seat and yelled out, "Bastards!"
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
A reporter.
Yeah.
That
From
is
the
insane.
Sydney Morning Herald. Isn't that insane? I've never heard of that.
No,
happening.
never.
Not a family member, not a supporter, a reporter. Isn't that wild?
That is insane.
I think that the reason I included that is because it's like it goes to show how people were so staunchly on one side or the other. It wasn't a really, like we talk about the mushroom cook, it's very widely believed that she is guilty.
Yes.
The supporters were far fewer. Whereas this was, it seemed to really be like kind of the media were awful about her, but certainly at least this reporter believed in her in a sense. But the public seemed to be quite, torn maybe. I think more people thought she did than didn't, but this reporter certainly didn't, which is fascinating as someone who'd sat in the court every day.
Yes, that's insane.
Lindy showed no emotion while the verdict was delivered.
Wow.
which also didn't help when that was reported, while Michael reportedly looked strained and was biting his lip. Michael was given a 12-month suspended sentence with a good behaviour bond, so he didn't have to spend any time in jail.
Oh, that's surprising.
For being accessory
guilty.
to murder.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Lindy, who is now 8 months pregnant,
Wow.
was sentenced to life in maximum security prison.
She got life and her accessory got...
18 months suspended.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably how mitigating his culpability was. So they were saying that she killed Azaria on his own. He knew nothing about it, but just afterwards he went and helped her hide the body.
Yes, okay.
Which, I mean, I would think that's still a pretty big
Absolutely,
deal.
not
But
suspended.
maybe the fact that it was like, supporting a partner, or because there are weird rules around spouses with you're not allowed to like testify against a spouse and things like that, or you've got clemency, and there's a weird rules about when you're married. I don't know if it's anything to do with that. I'm literally doing
just
it.
Good stuff to know.
Just good. No, I don't know it. That's the point. It's just good stuff to chat about.
I'm really surprised by that. And
that she was found guilty.
I'm surprised that he only got.
Oh yes, I was going to say no one seems surprised that she was found
but
guilty.
also that she's going to have the baby in in prison.
Maximum security. She was at Barramah Prison in Darwin.
Okay.
So Darwin is the very top of the very middle of Australia.
I did say before the highest point.
The highest point, the large mountain at the very top.
The largest mountain.
It's
in the
really
world.
like isolated, and it's a small place.
Yep.
Lindy was one of only 6 female inmates.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can I say quickly, the other day when I put up, we were talking before about when I did my end of year wrap up and everything, and even for a joke, I just said climbed Everest. I got the loveliest message about that.
Like legitimately?
Yeah, legitimately.
Someone actually
Congratulations, that's huge, Sammy. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, love that you think I can.
And then you were like...
Didn't post about it.
I moved
Didn't
house
put a photo.
twice. I did my comedy show. I did a comedy duo show.
Yeah.
I kept doing my podcasts.
Yeah.
I started a new podcast. Oh, and I climbed Everest.
Yeah, P.S. Mic drop.
And they didn't know that was sarcastic. One of the funniest things to me is how little so many people on the internet understand sarcasm.
Yes. Oh, it's wild to me too. Sorry, so you're saying 6 inmates only?
6 female inmates
6
only.
female inmates.
So that's how.
Inmates,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay.
And so like there was no female prison. It was just 6 female inmates in their wing of this prison. 3 weeks after her incarceration, she gave birth to a baby girl.
Wow.
She and Michael made up the name Kalia so that no one could ever speculate over its meaning.
Oh, sure. Kalia.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Kalia. They both had Reagan, Azaria.
Yes.
Like they're a bit odd. But then Aiden was their first baby, which is much more common.
Yeah.
Both Michael and Lindy appealed the verdicts, and 2 days after Kalia's birth, Lindy was granted bail while the courts dealt with the appeal. Now, when you lodge an appeal,
right,
you're saying this is the reason we think we should be able to appeal. They gave 23 grounds of reasons, and then the court takes a couple of months or however long it might be to say, no, we're not allowing the appeal, or they go, okay, yes, sure, we'll let you appeal. But you've got to stay in bars behind that time, but we'll let you go back to a court to fight why you think it was wrong.
She got bail.
The fact that she was given bail over that time fucking pissed everyone off.
Of course, but where did she go? Did she get out and go?
Yes.
What?
She was allowed to go and live at a centre that was run by her church in the town where her family was living. So it was like a kind of like a homestead thing. It was an education centre where there were studies, so there were students, but then there were also like full-time staff members that lived on site. It's kind of not a commune, but for want of a better term, kind of like a commune.
Yeah, okay.
And she was allowed to go and live there under strict bail conditions.
Sure. But still,
but only 3 weeks after she was
getting life
incarcerated for life.
That's nuts.
So the public was furious.
Yeah.
Why should she be allowed to be on bail?
That poor reporter.
Oh my God.
Sobbing.
I know. No, he'd be happy about it because
I don't know. I don't know how they feel. I don't know how they felt.
Oh, that's a good point. I've just realised when they said bastards.
They might have been angry that entire time.
They might have been saying bastards the jury for finding her guilty, or were they saying bastards Michael and Lindy, you killed your baby?
Michael and I don't know.
Yeah, no, true. I was thinking
I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Anyway, let's ask him. I'll find out his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were kind of saying, why should she be allowed out on bail just because she had a baby? Like, you know, maybe this is all part of the ploy. People really turned on the church, the Seventh-day Adventist, saying that because she had their support was the only reason she could be out of prison, because she could, you know, stay in this kind of commune area, and that this was unfair on other inmates who also claimed their innocence. That, you know, they weren't allowed to go and live in this area. Now, this was only made worse when it was revealed the church had gone guarantor on the loans Lindy and Michael had taken out to pay for their legal fees, which totaled $750,000 in 1982.
Holy shit.
That's the equivalent to around $2.5 million today.
On legal fees?
On legal fees, and that the church had gone guarantor on them. So again, it was like, well, just because these people are part of a church that we don't know and we don't understand and we think we don't like, she's able to get all this, you know, extra
help and support.
Yeah.
Wow.
People associated with the Seventh-day Adventist Church were targeted and tormented. Churches were vandalised all over the country. She had been found guilty. So there were all things. I said earlier, the family themselves were targeted with, like, people were howling like dingoes.
Yeah.
The churches were, like, spray painted with red paint, saying like baby killers.
Wow.
Like targeting the church, and they were like signs put up saying like dingo pups for sale, and just like really gross stuff. Now, Lindy had been found guilty in October 1982, and in April 1983, 3 federal court appeals judges unanimously rejected the appeal on all grounds.
Wow.
So she'd been let out on bail while they made this decision, and the decision was, no, you can't appeal. She was returned to the prison in Darwin.
And Kalia stays out with that.
Cool,
yeah.
Yep.
Kalia doesn't have to go back.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think so.
No.
There are certainly prisons where people can have their babies with them.
Yeah.
I think maybe given that this was October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months later, perhaps not.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Support for Lindy, though, was growing louder. So many opinion pieces and letters were published in newspapers in support of her that legal academics requested they be banned from being published because it was undermining the country's legal system.
Sure.
We're saying in the newspapers every day there's people saying she was wrongly convicted, this is wrong.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Legal academics were going, no one's going to believe in our justice system, you need to stop printing these. Lindy herself was so inundated with letters of support, she started writing a monthly bulletin from prison that she would send out to subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Early day Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
She would thank them. She would write prayers and poems to her children, including to Azaria. November of that same year, so 1983, Michael and Lindy appealed their convictions to the High Court. So you can go to the federal court, or you can go to the State Court of Appeals, then you can go to the High Court. I think federal and then high. The high is the highest court that you can go to. If they say no, you don't have any other avenues.
Wow.
This time the finding was 2 against 1.
Okay.
But only 1 was supporting, so the convictions were upheld.
Oh, wow.
So there is no way, unless any new evidence ever came forward, she's going to be behind bars for life. Wow. She murdered her 9-week-old daughter, and she will serve life for that. After this High Court attempt had failed.
Did they find anything about motive in any of this? Was it just that they thought maybe Azaria was disabled, or was it,
they were rumours and speculation that came up in like kind of media commentary.
Right.
I didn't see anywhere. Well, no, what I saw is that they didn't put forward a motive. Again, same as Mushroom Lady, Erin Patterson. They said the whole time, we don't know a motive. We'll never be able to understand or know why, because she's claiming she didn't do it.
Yeah.
So we don't know why she did it, but it's definitely happened.
And the motive there with the disability is not, that's not the motive. The motive is we can't deal with this. We can't support our child through disability. That we will.
That was the
speculation.
rumor, the speculation.
Yeah,
that maybe because she was so little, maybe that they had found out she was disabled. They noticed things that were quote unquote
different.
wrong, or different with her, and they decided, well, I don't know, maybe that it's all speculation. It could have been the belief is that if a disabled child shouldn't live the way that they do, or they're wanting or need of supporting a disabled child. There was still all the rumours and speculation about it being a sacrifice.
It sounds nuts that a proper motive wasn't uncovered.
Well, it hasn't been in Erin Patterson's either. And that's the thing, right? If someone's claiming not innocent, why would they give up a motive? Because they're saying they didn't do it.
True.
Did I just say not innocent?
Yeah, not innocent.
No, I meant not guilty, but I meant innocent. If someone is saying I'm innocent, well, they're never going to put forward a motive because they said I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Susan Neil Fraser was the son. Well, I mean, that was different, I suppose, because the prosecution said we think it was about money.
Yes, and I thought the prosecution might have been like, oh, it was about this. And that's, okay. Like, I don't know.
No, because the thing is, prosecution has to prove the case. The defence doesn't have to do anything. The prosecution has to prove the case. So with something like this, what could be a motive for killing a 9-week-old baby? You can't uncover an affair that's going on or money troubles or anything, right?
That's true, yeah.
So if there wasn't one, they just don't put one up because otherwise the defence can argue, well, no, there's nothing to suggest it was a disability, for instance. So they just didn't put one up. They said, we can't understand why, but all the physical evidence we say suggests that she was murdered.
It's just so heartbreaking about Azaria. Like, lost their life and was a baby and
9 weeks old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, sorry.
So Michael resigned as a minister with the church.
There would have been so much pressure for him to resign.
Yeah. He told the media, God will come to my aid. I'm just wondering why it's taking him so long. Which seems like for a minister, like an ordained minister, that feels like the closest thing to I'm questioning my belief here. Like it feels like that to me, being like, I know he'll come. I've put my entire life into believing in God, but he's taken a bit of time to help me here.
Sounds like the follow-up song by Ray, Where the Hell My Husband?
The follow-up song to this case?
No, to her song, Where the Hell's My Husband? It would be Where the Hell's God?
I was taking him so long.
I
get it, yeah.
Because it's clunky.
Really good. Really
but I feel like with something like that, I am always so surprised when people follow God through everything and go,
again,
it's
very
God's
much
plan.
to the caveat that we're not religious people.
Yeah, going, it's God's plan. This is what God wanted. This is, and
like
then
the fucking death of a 9-week-old baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, to the caveat, we're not religious, and then I went, boom. Sorry. Okay, we're nearly there. Support remained strong for Lindy. At one point, a group not even remained strong, grew stronger, I think. At one point, a group of 31 scientists signed an open letter protesting the forensic claims made in court about the blood in the Chamberlain's car.
Oh.
So 31 individual scientists said, yes, I will put my name to a thing saying we completely disagree with the evidence that was given about the fact that was blood.
Right.
The sticky substance thing.
That's interesting. 31, wow.
A petition with 131 signatures in favour of releasing Lindy, just people in the public, was presented to the Governor-General. A 40-page document was submitted asking for a royal commission. It was rejected, as was an application by Lindy for early release given her baby at home. So there she was. No more grounds for appeal possible, or at least allowed.
Wow.
Until...
Oh, my gosh. It's a roller coaster.
In 1986, 31-year-old British traveller...
That's 5 years after she was...
4 years after she was incarcerated.
Case-rated,
Because she then... So it was April 83 that her appeal was denied and she went back in.
Okay.
31-year-old British traveller David Brett was exploring Uluru Katajuda National Park alone with the intention to climb Uluru. It was too hot to do so during the day, so he waited until 4 p.m, hoping the afternoon sun would make it a bit cooler and he could do so.
Just don't do it, mate.
Don't do it. Exactly. The facilities in the national park had changed significantly since Azaria's disappearance. And as David went to do the climb, a park ranger said that you're not allowed to camp here anymore. So don't go climbing late because you can't stay here. You need to get out of the national park at a certain time. But he did. 2 Indigenous locals saw him climbing in a forbidden area around 7 p.m. that night, and they reported it the following day, but he was nowhere to be found. He'd gone.
Right.
A week after that, another tourist was hiking the base of Uluru when they came across David's body.
Oh.
He had fallen 200 metres to his death during the climb, and his remains had been scavenged by animals.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, again, as you said, don't do it, David.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
So, yeah, he had fallen. There was no indication at all that he had been attacked. He'd fallen to his death, and then his remains had been attacked, or scavenged rather. On February 2, 1986, park rangers conducted a search of the area in an attempt to recover all of his bones.
Oh,
Isn't
God.
that awful?
Okay, yeah.
Now, the site where he was found was only 150 metres from where our friend Wally, back in 1980, had found Azaria's clothing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And that area featured many dingo lairs. Wild dogs had pillaged David's backpack, and the rangers found several items of his clothing amongst the dry grass and shrubs right near this dingo's lair. One ranger spotted something buried in the sand and bent over to inspect it to see if it was something from David's backpack as well. What he found was, although very dirty, the heat and the dry sands of the desert land had preserved the item and left it in a decent enough condition to tell what it was. Can you guess what it was?
I think it's going to be the jumpsuit.
No, the jumpsuit had already been found.
Oh, the jumpsuit that she said that Azaria was wearing.
The matinee jacket.
Oh, that's what I meant.
The
yeah,
goddamn
okay, yeah.
matinee
The matinee jacket. My God.
The one that Lindy had said, insisted the whole time she had been
Yes.
wearing. And they had said, well, it's never been found. She wasn't wearing that. So you tell me how then this jumpsuit's not been ripped to shreds.
My God.
The matinee goddamn jacket. 6 years after Azaria.
Preserved under the sand. Mm-hmm. My God.
It was, it had a button even hanging from the neck by a thread. Already said this. She'd always maintained Azaria was wearing the matinee jacket. So I've written all these things, but then we go off and talk about them anyway. And then I come back and I go, I could have saved all that time having written that. Now, the Chamberlain's lawyer, Stuart Tipple, received a tip-off about the find of the matinee jacket. A tip-off, very good, from a journalist.
Oh.
Yeah. So a journalist heard that, oh my fucking God, they found a baby's knitted jacket and told the Chamberlain's lawyer, who had been the Chamberlain's lawyer. He submitted an urgent request to the police commissioner for access to the jacket for forensic testing so they could prove it was hers. The jacket was shown to Lindy on February 5, 1986. She immediately broke down in tears and said, that's my Azaria's.
Wow.
Now, during the murder trial, the prosecution's case had depended on there being no jacket. Its discovery not only disproved their assertions that Lindy was a liar, but it also provided an explanation for the lack of canine saliva on the jumpsuit, the lack of rips in the jumpsuit, as the jacket would have been in direct contact with the dingo's mouth. So the jacket could have very much been, so she was wearing it. They're saying, well, the dingo's picked her up while she's wearing the jacket. At some point, like, kind of, it's come off.
Yep.
And that's why, from when the dingo grabbed her.
Yes, yeah.
It's what got all the saliva and everything on it.
God.
12 days later, another royal commission was announced. The Chief Minister of the Northern Territory directed Lindy to be immediately released from prison on remission, allowing her unrestricted access to legal advisors in preparation. So it wasn't, they hadn't quashed her convictions, but they said there is enough here that we're going to allow you to go home to work on your case.
Yes.
Essentially saying there's enough that we can see already that might mean you're not guilty. So you can go home while we work on it.
Wow.
She was able to go home to her family, back to that same area, including her now 4-year-old daughter, Kalia.
Wow.
The Royal Commission, number 3, began later that year and went for 14 months.
14 months?
Yeah. Justice Trevor Morling found, which Morling is a horrible name for this, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
It's spelt like that too.
Oh my God.
Maul. Found that the prosecution's case had relied heavily on expert testimony that dingoes were unlikely to enter a tent and attack a child, but acknowledged that they hadn't taken into account that the Uluru dingoes were different to typical wild dingoes found elsewhere.
Yeah.
He highlighted that the local park rangers believed that it was not only possible that one of the native dingoes could take a baby from a tent, but that they'd actually been concerned of an attack of such a nature because of the increasing attacks leading up to.
Been a lot just recently before that happened, yeah.
So this coroner essentially said that wasn't taken into account in the murder trial.
Yeah.
He rejected assertions that Lindy Chamberlain was a bad mother or that she might have been suffering from postnatal depression, stating there were no signs to show that at all. She had never manifested any symptoms to suggest she might be violent towards any one of her children. She believed the grief Lindy displayed was genuine and that her lack of help in assisting with the search could be explained of her early acceptance that Azaria was already deceased and her need to remain close to her two surviving children. In regards to the the blood under the dashboard of the car, Justice Morling accepted that it was most likely, what do you think? Sticky substance found that forensic experts were like, we can't prove that it was definitely blood, but it could be blood.
Just saliva or something?
It was paint.
Paint?
According to this coroner.
Oh.
Like, this is what we're saying about, like, waterproofing paint.
Oh.
So this is what we're saying about, like, you getting different experts for different things. I suppose especially in the 80s, like, science obviously, blasts ahead very quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
For all these forensic experts have said, yeah, it could be blood. And a coroner's gone, no, I accept that it could be paint.
Dulux involved early on.
It's most likely paint.
Wow.
Yeah, Dulux non-spawn unless you want to spawn.
Dulux expert.
That's right. The coroner declared the prosecution had provided no evidence of the Chamberlain's guilt, and he absolved them of any responsibility in their daughter's death.
Imagine that 14 months of her waiting.
That was all going on.
I've had so many rejections so far.
This could be happening, but I can't get excited because it didn't happen last time.
Yeah.
The Northern Territory government offered both Michael and Lindy a pardon. Now, do you know the difference between a pardon and an acquittal?
No.
So a pardon essentially means they are forgiven for their crimes. Like, you don't have to spend any more time. We'll let you go. We'll let you off. Basically means we'll let you off rather than we accept you didn't do it.
Okay, sure.
But a pardon means the conviction isn't quashed.
Oh.
So it's still on their record. It still goes, like the cause of death on her death certificate still says that. Wow. They're just pardoned.
Oh, okay.
The Chamberlains fought this. They went, absolutely not. We're not going down for this in the eyes of the law, anything. And in September 1988, when I was just a wee bub, I was born in August 88, the Northern Territory Court of Appeals finally, officially agreed to quash their convictions.
My God.
So, in September 1988, it was August 1980 that Azaria died.
Wow. And you're not going to just walk away from a pardon and go, well, I'm out now.
Exactly. That's what they said. They're like, no,
fight it.
There is a big difference between being
and the way they
innocent.
were treated. Yeah.
Correct. They sued the Northern Territory government, seeking $4 million for pain, suffering and loss of wages. In 1992, so even this took them years.
Well, Jesus Christ.
Exactly. They were granted compensation of, for Lindy, $900,000 and for Michael, $400,000. So they'd asked for $4 million.
Yeah, sure.
They got 1.3.
Okay.
But the weirdest part to me is that Lindy got 900,000 compensation and Michael got 400.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, sorry, Lindy was the one that was incarcerated.
Yeah, and accused of killing. Yeah,
that must be a thing about the wage loss, because Lindy didn't make as much money maybe when he was full-time carer for the children. It must be that.
You'd also think the legal fees must come into that as well. Like that should be another thing on top of.
Well, no. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, when questioned about why this was so much lower than the $4 million that they had sought, a spokesperson for the Attorney General said the government had no legal obligation to pay them anything.
Oh my God.
So like there's still this just disdain towards them.
Yeah.
And I think especially the Northern Territory government and police are angry and embarrassed probably that this back and forth and forth.
But also I think that the mistreatment and the early images and how Lindy behaved, and like we always say, you don't know how you're going to behave in a situation until you're there. The way that she spoke, the way she wore the sunglasses, I reckon people have got this entrenched knowledge of her, and it's so stubborn that they're not ever going to see her
even
as
when they
anything
go, but hang on,
particular.
6 years later, a jacket was found with
The
dingo
exact
saliva on
jacket
it
as well that she described.
said she had been wearing.
Yeah, and was
and
adamant
people
about
go, no, something's no. I just don't believe it. I reckon it was still her. People go, nah, I still reckon it was her.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're still not finished. We nearly are. I promise we nearly are.
Everyone's enjoying it. Don't do this.
Okay, good.
Everyone's having a good time. I did a survey monkey just then. Everyone's having a good time.
Enjoying
Everyone's
it.
having a
Diggs
good
is
time.
asleep. That must mean he likes it. Hey, we actually had one of our listeners messaged me on Instagram saying, your voice is very relaxing. And I was like, oh, thank you. I know, like, I've got a weird, unique, very deep voice.
Beautiful.
It's nice to hear that it's relaxing to you. She goes, yeah, I listen to your other podcast, Everyone Has an Ex to Go to Sleep every night. And I was like,
that's great.
Oh.
Put a lot of work
and then
into
she goes, and I was listening to this one in the car the other day and I felt myself getting tired. And I was like, oh, it's her voice. I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
So funny.
Oh, God, we're about 3 hours into this episode. I wonder how you're going, dear listener. Right, to tie things up legally, because now it had been stated that Lindy wasn't guilty of her murder, so they had to go, right, well, what do we put on the death certificate for this child?
Yeah.
Another coronial inquiry had to happen. It was much smaller.
Okay.
And this coroner found in 1995 that the Chamberlains were in no way involved, but he could not reasonably determine that it was definitely a dingo attack either. So the 9-week-old's cause of death was officially ruled as unknown.
Wow.
The story still does not end there.
I think it would be such a huge thing as well, and such a kick to the professional people that go for another one to be escalated and that's found wrong for the other one. And also, like, I imagine the High Court and Supreme Court as well. If you overturn that, imagine those people who originally...
It almost does feel a bit political, doesn't it?
It does.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
But it feels that, personally, to me, that it's like... you can't prove it was definitely a dingo. Like, okay, we can't prove that Lindy did it, so we'll say she didn't do it, but we can't prove that it was a dingo, so let's just say we don't know.
Yeah. Seems like a bit of a cop-out.
But the story doesn't end there. A decade after that, in 2004...
2004, Jesus Christ.
The Azaria Chamberlain case made headlines yet again. 78-year-old Melbourne man Frank Cole said that he had been at Uluru on August 17, 1980, when he and his 2 companions came across a dingo carrying a baby in its jaws.
No.
The baby's face and ear were badly mutilated and her head was covered in blood. Frank claimed he shot the dingo and the 3 men washed and cleaned the baby.
What?
But it then occurred to them that they might be tampering with evidence, so they placed her body in a bag. Frank returned home ahead of his group, and the other 2 men said they would take the baby to the police. Now, Frank says he wasn't sure what happened next as they made a pact to never speak of it again. He believed, as he was telling police in 2004, that one of the men may have buried the baby in the backyard of their suburban Melbourne home. Frank explained that he didn't come forward earlier out of the fear he would be charged for firing a gun in a national park.
Oh, Frank.
Like, I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I'm watching Mr. In Between at the moment, which is about a hitman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, in my opinion, allegedly,
Yeah.
Frank there were other fucking dodgy things going on. You don't not come forward about a baby's body because you think you might get in trouble for firing a gun.
And also,
the
like,
entire country is looking
Yes.
for how this baby died for decades.
it's also not a case that you would not, if you were alive
That's what I
then,
mean,
you
yes.
would not have not heard of this
Well,
case.
he's come forward about it in
My
2004.
God, Frank.
It's an ex-boyfriend of mine's name. I've said that
I
sentence
don't
many
like this
times
Frank one bit.
with just as much anger.
Yeah.
But after suffering a serious accident in 2004, he felt at 78 years old he had to clear his conscience.
Oh, my God.
Frank's 2 companions had since passed away, meaning there was no one to validate his claims. Now, the home of where the alleged burial site might have been had
Why would they have brought the baby back to Melbourne?
Yeah, exactly. I suppose just to be like, if it's on our property, people won't just come
Yeah,
across
right.
it, is the idea. That place that Frank had said he thinks it might have been buried had since undergone major extensions, and its new owner told police they could only dig on his property if they produced tangible evidence of what they expected to find. Essentially, they would have had to knock down the house to dig under it.
Wow.
And he was like, I mean, if you've got tangible evidence of the fact that you really believe that you think you'll find
Yeah. You're not just ripping it up
Azaria's
for-
body, I'll let you, but not otherwise. Cheers. An officer who was involved with the original investigation way back in 1980 told ABC News that although it was a feasible story, he did hold doubts about whether it could be true. Frank's story.
Right, okay.
They definitely couldn't provide tangible evidence. enough.
Bizarre thing to make up, though.
Yeah, but he might have,
Yeah.
a 78-year-old man, he'd just had a serious accident, might have got
Yeah,
a head knock.
sure.
You told
Yeah.
me stories about how your grandpa on his deathbed started confessing to all these murders.
Oh, yeah, he did.
which
He said some stuff.
we don't believe. I mean, I believe he
believe.
did them. I think it's great, but
I
we
believe.
don't actually
I believe what he said.
People,
Yeah.
older people and when they've had head knocks and all sorts
Yeah.
of things. We've spoken in so many other cases as well about people just wanting headlines and wanting
Yeah,
to be
that's
involved
true.
in something.
Yeah.
Now, Lindy Chamberlain said publicly that if Frank's claims were true, she would not hold any grudges against him for not coming forward sooner. I call bullshit on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely no one
No.
is like religious enough to
Whose
not
life
hold,
has been destroyed by the
Yeah.
loss of their 9-week-old baby and then being
years and
yeah,
years and
yeah.
years. Michael Chamberlain said, I do forgive the man if he is telling the truth, and I would be happy for him not to be prosecuted because he has carried a very big cross for a long time. Both the Northern Territory and Victoria Police, because he was a Melbourne man,
Yep.
agreed to investigate Frank's claims, but nothing to substantiate his story. It was dismissed and ultimately went nowhere.
I mean, if the backyard's not going to be dug up, then that's, yeah.
And of course, Sammy, there is still one more
Wow.
update to come. The Chamberlains continued campaigning to clear their names over the years. Although the last inquest had returned their presumption of innocence, they sought full exoneration. They wanted to
Of course they
wanted
would.
the death certificate to say
Yeah.
it's not unknown
Yeah,
how she
no,
died.
no.
She was taken by a dingo.
Yep.
On August 17, 2010, exactly 30 years after Azaria's disappearance, Lindy published an open letter on her own website, lindychamberlain.com,
Wow.
calling on the Northern Territory government to amend her daughter's death certificate.
Yep. Yep.
The Attorney General advised that the power to make this change would lay with the Coroner's Office. Attorney General was like, hands up, it's not up to me, stop bringing me into this. Been
Yeah.
fucking 30 years, leave me alone.
Yeah. Is that Penny Wong?
Nope.
Yep.
The following year, Northern Territory Deputy Coroner Elizabeth Morris announced that that new revelations regarding dingo behaviour had emerged. So she would be opening another inquest.
Oh, my
Into
God. In
Azaria's
2010.
That inquest commenced in February 2012.
Oh, my God.
It was much smaller.
Okay.
It centred around a series of dingo attacks that had occurred against children on Fraser Island, a popular tourist destination off the coast of Queensland.
Oh, okay.
So there had been, between 2001 and 2011, there had been a 9-year-old boy killed by a dingo and 2 little girls, aged 3 and 4, severely bitten.
Wow.
So as I said earlier, there's not a lot known about dingoes because they are so
UK guy
wild,
disagrees
apart from
with
the
that,
London guy. They're so, I mean, there's more known now, but they're so wild.
Yes, yeah.
They haven't really been able to be studied all that well and all that closely. So, yeah.
They're aloof as.
They're aloof as everyone always says. Dingoes, they're aloof
They're aloof as. I'd love to get to know when it says let me. They're aloof as.
Least Sammy Peterson sentence I've ever heard.
They're aloof
They're
as.
aloof as. So it took me a while to work out what you're trying to say. New dingo research had also been done over all of these years, which finally proved they actually did prey on larger mammals like wallabies, which are about the size of a 9-week-old baby.
Oh, wow.
In June 2012, the coroner handed down the finding that she was satisfied Azaria had been taken by a dingo.
Wow.
Now, I mean, this is just a little tidbit here. I find it interesting that the first female
absolutely.
coroner or judge involved in any of this is the one that, that's unfair to the very first coroner who said the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he didn't say it's definitely a dingo, but he said it's definitely not Lindy. Remember, he was the one that said there could have been, I think the dingo took her and then someone else might have interfered and hidden the things and panicked.
Yeah.
But I just found it interesting in researching this. I was saying, it's the first time a female has presided over it,
that
and
is really
she's gone, like, these fucking parents sleep.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing there. She didn't say that. She apologised to the Chamberlains publicly and formally, not casually, for all they had endured, stating, quote, "I am so sorry for your loss. Time does not remove the pain and the sadness of the death of a child." Spectators applauded and the Chamberlains wept before an amended death certificate for Azaria was made available for the family.
Wow.
Outside the courthouse, Lindy told reporters, "We are relieved and delighted to come to the end of this saga." Michael thanked the coroner for her finding, remarking, "This has been a terrifying battle, bitter at times, but now some healing and a chance to put our daughter's spirit to rest." Now, by this time, Lindy and Michael had separated and had both since remarried. Lindy went on to release a book that was originally titled Through My Eyes. She later changed the title to The Dingo's Got My Baby.
Wow.
I think publishers were like,
yeah, you've
babe,
missed her. You've missed
babe, come on, I know.
And, dingoes are aloof as also was the title. But
yes, they didn't. Yeah. They said no to that because it's terrible. In this book, she spoke obviously about her experience of all of it, what happened. Yep. She said, revealed in the book as well, that she and Michael had actually been speaking about separating before all of this happened.
Right.
And he supported her through it all, but the marriage just didn't.
Have you read the book?
Throughout. No,
it'd be interesting. I think
yeah,
it would be. Yeah,
it would be. From researching this story, obviously heard lots of parts from it, but no, I haven't read it. You should read it. You're in your true crime reading era.
Helen Garner wrote it. Absolutely.
Oh, you definitely would.
Yeah.
Michael Chamberlain sadly passed away in 2017 from leukemia. I will finish this mammoth episode with a quote from the Age newspaper that explored an article explored the gendered nature of the criticism that surrounded Lindy, and it said, "Many of those who believed Lindy Chamberlain guilty maintained that the baby had been killed in some kind of obscure sacrificial ritual. So it is deeply ironic that the trial itself turned to be a sacrificial ritual on a national scale. Those who claimed that the name Azaria meant sacrifice in the wilderness spoke more truly than they knew. They simply mistook the identity of the victim." So it's essentially saying Lindy ended up being a sacrifice.
Yeah.
She was sacrificed to this gross beast that is the Australian media. Wow. I put my hands up. I had words not around then. But isn't that a beautiful? I just think like that's such a beautiful prose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a brief overview of the story of Lindy, Michael and Azaria Chamberlain.
Wow.
The dingo got her baby.
That is, it's so insane to look at that as for the whole story.
Yeah.
Because I also look at like, even, Reagan being in the tent.
Yeah.
Going.
How do you not walk up to a dingo grabbing your sister?
Yeah.
I mean, again, the same thing. Dingo walks in, goes, sweet, a baby, grabs her in its mouth, killed her instantly. Like that's
Has Reagan ever said anything?
not that I found in my not in my found looking at
Yeah.
this. The most interesting thing I found, because such a famous story in Australia, I knew that she'd been found guilty and then exonerated.
Yes.
I did not know the background of this inquest said this, then the next one said this, then the trial said this, then an inquest said this. I didn't know there were that many parts to it.
No.
And that was another thing, the anger from the public as well really was exacerbated by the fact that there had been so many inquiries and trials. It was like, how much taxpayer money are we spending to keep investigating this?
When she's found guilty every time. It's like, what is going on?
Well, yeah, exactly. And then when she was bailed, when she was granted bail while guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, we know now she wasn't guilty, but you know, when she had baby Carlia and was let out while the appeal was being dealt with, everyone's like, well, hang on, why have we spent money on 2 inquests and a trial just to let her out on bail anyway? Like, you're wasting everyone's money.
Yeah.
So that really contributed to the hatred for her as well.
Yeah, it is. And like I said at the start, like, you know, the Amanda Knox story, like it is such a...
that I wouldn't let you say it then.
No. But it is such an interesting thing to go, because she didn't behave in the way that everyone expected a
Same
mother
with
to
Joanne
behave.
Lees in the Peter Falconio one.
Yeah.
And that was the Australian media as well. That's why I find that an interesting comparison too. And I think it's like, here's me just jumping on my feminist stool again. Stool?
Yeah, on your stool.
No, pedestal.
Yeah, you're on your
Which
stool.
is not pedestal.
She's on a stool again.
I said stool. You know, I was looking at this stool you placed next to me to
stool.
put my Jans on. Pedestal of media, people, Australians, just don't like women. Joanne Lees, the one, so Peter Falconio's girlfriend,
Yep.
and Lindy Chamberlain, Azaria Chamberlain's mother, were not guilty. It has been proven they were not guilty, but still in people's minds we go, I don't know though.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just like we were told to hate this woman, so everyone just does and believes it blindly, even when they've been proven not guilty. Like people, I think more so people know like, it's awkward. The dingo did get her baby, but still don't like her.
I also
Why?
found it really interesting that it is still a joke. Like, I mean, you know, this is a kind of a comedy crime podcast, but, you know, we love the people that we talk about. You know, there's the victims. We're always talking about only the victims. We're only talking about the victims in a way where,
and this
it's
is the
like,
thing,
you know,
Lindy is a victim in this.
Yes, and that it's a joke. Like people put it on an Australian accent and go, I didn't go, because it's what they know. They know, but they might not know the horror. Because, like I said, how awful would that be to go? Not only are your baby has been taken and then you're looked at?
Not just
it's like,
looked at, like spat on in the street.
But first,
put
you're
in
looked
jail.
at. Imagine you first being there going, what, me? Why am I? I've told you what happened.
I'm the mother. I'm the last person in the whole world that would do that.
I've told you a dingo.
And I'm the one that saw the fucking dingo, mate. What do you mean I didn't? I saw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is horrible to think of that. And also, like, you know, I imagine relationships change. Like you even said that the friend dobbed the
dog,
saw the blood, saw the blood, and dobbed her in and was like, "Wow,
there was blood on the tracksuit pants, and she didn't tell me there was, so that she's obviously hiding something."
And so relationships would change. I mean, I wonder do you know what happened with Lindy after she was released? Did she have a career? Was she able to?
She remarried. I didn't look into her career or anything. She remarried. She interestingly became very, very, very close friends with one of the jurors.
Really?
From her trial. Oh. So one of the jurors said she felt sick about the whole thing and reached out to Lindy saying, you know, I'm so sorry that I was part of that. And they kind of became pen pals and then became like best friends.
Wow.
Which is like that really shows, you know, again, we're not religious people, but something I find very, really beautiful. And I almost quite envy about people who have such strong faith is their just the ability to
forgive.
Unreservedly forgive.
Yeah.
I would never forgive someone that found me guilty of murdering my baby if I hadn't done it.
Yeah, I know. But
my God.
Also, you look at the, you know, how Australia was at that time.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
look at that and go, well, everyone thought she was guilty.
Yeah.
Like I heard of the story. Like I think everyone in Australia particularly has heard of this story.
And it happened before you were born.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, before I was born as
Yeah.
well. But we know
of
about
it.
Yeah, God.
When did John Benet Ramsey? When was John Benet Ramsey murdered? Because they're
90s.
90s.
I've just said that. That was a complete, I reckon. Let me Google.
Yeah, because I remember at the start, we talked about, did the brother, was the brother, I remember that was a kind of a thought at the start. Did the brother accidentally, do something? And
That's one of those kind of widely held beliefs. Not
Yes.
widely held, I reckons.
Yeah.
96.
96, yeah, okay.
Oh, it was on Boxing Day. Maybe we should hold
Was
that
it
for
really?
Christmas
Yeah,
next year.
yeah. Would be a fascinating one to do. But I do find it really interesting about Lindy Chamberlain and that name. Everyone kind of knows that name in Australia.
Yeah.
Like the name Lindy Chamberlain.
Oh, yes.
And that's so awful.
Even that's interesting in itself, isn't it? That we were like, oh, well, we'll do this episode. And you said, oh, you should do Lindy Chamberlain. Well, why don't we think of it as the Azaria Chamberlain story?
Yeah,
We'll call the
yeah.
episode Azaria Chamberlain.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is Lindy Chamberlain is the name that's synonymous with this case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That was fascinating. Gee, thank you for telling me the story of Lindy
I know that you
Chamberlain.
love the Simpsons and the Seinfelds and also the Frasers.
Yes.
Phrases. I was trying to make a joke, but I said it correctly. Can you write into all of your idols and mentors who work on those shows and tell them that they were wrong for making the dingo ate my baby joke?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that Seinfeld and Frasier did.
According to my research.
Right.
Let me Google that as well.
That's really interesting that they
You
made
remember
a
the
comment
Simpsons
about
one,
it.
though,
I imagine
don't
the
you?
Simpsons one.
Because that was the Australian
Australian
episode.
Where, there were so many Australian references.
I could
in
hear
that.
Jerry Seinfeld saying it, I reckon.
Yeah,
Seinfeld,
sure.
Dingo ate your baby.
Yeah.
Yep. And, oh no, it was Elaine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, and I can hear her saying it now.
Yeah, right, okay.
They were trying to blend in at a party. The episode's called The Stranded. And this is fun stuff,
This
isn't
is
it?
fun stuff, yeah.
Well, it's lucky it's been a short episode. So
Yeah, that's right. You
so I
got all the
have
time in the world. You got time. Don't worry, I got time. And we're going to be doing the mailbag very, very soon, just so you know. We're just going to let the G Love Google live the Frasier episode as well, because she is absolutely loving
I'm a
Googling.
Googler.
She's a Googler from way back. All right, you got 5 seconds.
Niles learns to be a good parent. Apparently it's in that.
Oh, what a great fact. Apparently it's in that. Anyway, apparently
I
it's
think
in
that's
that.
wrong. I don't think it was in Frasier.
Okay. All right. Well, look, we're going to... Let's give up on that.
It might have been an episode called
Who
Flower
cares?
Child.
We're going to come back after
it
a
is.
short break, and we're going to do
The dingo's got
mailbag.
your baby, he said. Niles said it.
I'm so glad we went through all of that so that you could hear
No,
the
Daphne
exact same
said
quote.
it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We heard the exact quote, and it's
No,
wonderful.
but they said it correctly. That's
Yes.
that's why my Google search didn't turn it up, because I wrote the dingo ate my baby.
I see.
It's in the episode called Flower.
Wonderful stuff. We'll be back after a short break with the mailbag. I've got some more deals.
That was another hour 13, just that.
Yeah.
It's the longest episode of all
2
time.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you're not allowed to talk to Div about Timbos. Oh, you would, yeah. You would want to be friends with them. Yeah, but you need to go back to it, Papa. You need to get some water. So Div is what I call something. You probably don't know him as that.
I do know him as that.
I'm just going to be really sorry. But you probably don't know him as that because, you're obsessed with Div as well.
Oh, I saw him as that. I got my baby. put it all over yourself.
What's that?
Yes, it's something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't actually know what that was. This is on the headline.
It's up there.
Oh,
Pardon?
I
I didn't actually know.
didn't actually know what that was. Do you want to stand there for the bit? Yeah, that's good.
You want to put his bed there?
No, it's okay. He likes lying on the ground. It's warmer for dear. What? Thanks, Tom. Let's finish this episode off with the mail.
We should have done this in 2.
Pardon?
We should have done this in 2. I know that you don't like doing it, but it's so long.
Oh, yeah.
People do like the longer episodes though. Like no one ever said, oh, the episodes are too long.
No, I know. I think serial killers are good to do in 2 parts. I think sometimes it's hard with one.
Well, yeah, I just thought because it was like, I suppose where there's no obvious halfway point.
And just hearing a trial and another trial, and I mean, it's, yeah.
It's interesting. So I listened to the case file episode on this.
Oh, yeah.
They went into so many details.
They always do.
That was spoken about in the trial.
Oh, my
And
God.
you can just say, like, here are the interesting points that were brought up. It's like the investigation found all this, and then they go over it all again.
They're so thorough, aren't they?
And interestingly, that episode was like nearly 2 hours, but it's only him talking the whole time, whereas you and I go and talk about other things as well. So that's how detailed it was. Yeah.
Or is it?
Let me pick a Podre peeve before we start, so I'm not Googling again.
Oh, she's not Googling again,
dude. Oh yeah, go on. Good one, I got it.
I don't have one, but I'll think of one when we're doing it.
You're not angry enough about stuff.
No. Thank you, everybody, for listening this week to the Lindy Chamberlain episode. G did an amazing job with that. And
I'm sorry it was so long.
Hey, never apologise for that.
Hey, actually, listeners, do you like the long episodes or do you prefer them like short and sharp?
Yeah, you tell us.
Yeah, because if you don't like them that long, it's much easier for us.
Yeah, no,
to
it
go into
actually
less
is.
detail.
Yeah. We know twice as much. But also,
don't be afraid to tell us if you do love the long ones as well.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Never be afraid.
Never
you
be
can write
afraid.
in at sammy@justanothercompany.com.au if you want to write in, or you can leave us a speak pipe. All of the links are below.
I just want to say they're allowed to be afraid in their, like,
Day-to-day
about other
lives.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we do talk about murderers and stuff for this. So you're allowed to be afraid at times, but don't be afraid to write into us.
That is correct.
You can also do so on Instagram and TikTok at Not Another Crime Podcast. You must leave us a 5-star rating. You must leave us a 5-star review.
Good girl. You did it.
Thank you.
All right, we've got some letters today. This one comes from Laura. Hi, Sammy and G Love. Sammy Peterson, I implore you to read out our previous email. If you have and I've missed it, please excuse my wretchedness.
My wretchedness, I love that.
This wasn't why I emailed, though. I need to let you know that I wished I went to Billy Ocean with you guys since I convinced my husband to, and he just made fun of me the whole time because of the crowd I was now associated with.
Yes, that's what we were saying. Did we say we brought the crowd median age down to about 65?
Yeah, I know. Also hugely here for a morbid crossover. Wishing you guys a wonderful holiday period and a very happy new year. Love you guys, Laura.
Laura.
And this is her
That was the
original email.
one.
I feel like we did read it, but maybe we didn't. And
Oh my
I'll
God,
read
Laura,
it here.
if you just didn't listen.
Oh my God. Hi, Sammy and G Love, and obviously Missy Diggins and Paudrey Hepburn. Long time listener, first time caller. Listening to you both every week makes my commute to and from work an absolute delight. You're the perfect blend of the good, the bad, and the ugly, whilst maintaining that strong level of respect to both the victims and their families.
Diggs walked out when you said ugly.
He did. He didn't like that. I'm also letting you know ahead of this, with recent discussions of an M-Dash being a dead giveaway, that ChatGPT is being utilised. And as an avid M-Dash user,
same.
I am mortified, I promise you. I am not AI. I just love a sexy little diatrical mark.
Oh, yes.
Whenever you mention your love for both Kangaroo Island and Tasmania, I'm briefly reminded of my family, of the time my family and I were living on Norfolk Island, and the first murder since 150 years was committed of a one Janelle Patton. If you haven't heard much about it before, not many have. Norfolk Island is a tiny external territory of Australia located in the Pacific Ocean. It's smack bang between Australia and New Zealand, roughly 877 miles directly east of Australia. The most recent census totaled 1,748 inhabitants, and the whole island is only 14 square miles. I won't dive too much into detail as you might want to cover it later down the track, but the island has a deep and dark history, serving as a convict settlement between 1788 and 1855. In 1856, a permanent civilian residence on the island began while my direct descendants of the Bounty Mustaneers were relocated from a neighbouring island, Pitcairn Island. My mum spent a lot of her childhood there, with both her older brothers and father being born on the island. 2002 marked the year we packed up our lives here in Australia and moved across to Norfolk for a year due to a sick relatives. It also marked the year the island experienced their first murder in 150 years.
Laura, was it you?
Was it you?
Is this a confession?
It could be. Although I don't remember a lot being, maybe this is why I didn't read the email the first time, being only 10 at the time. I do remember evidence being found out the front of our very house.
Laura.
Janelle's sunglasses.
Laura, if you are, actually, the criminal culpability age is 12.
Yeah.
So she's
Okay.
safe. You're
She's
safe,
fine.
Laura. Let us know about this murder.
Mum and Dad were questioned, and along with everyone else on the island, they were fingerprinted. No one was allowed to leave the island until granted permission.
Wow.
I hope you find it interesting enough to look into it or read up on. They did eventually find the killer.
Oh, so it wasn't Laura?
No, it wasn't Laura.
Okay.
As a part of a palate cleanser, I've attached a photo of my pooch, Norman Bates.
Norman Bates,
All
she
my
is
love
a crime girlie.
And well wishes, Laura. And there's beautiful.
Show me Norman Bates.
He's beautiful.
Oh, he's a beautiful. He's a black spaniel. Is
Black
he?
Spaniel, I think.
Oh my
yeah, he's
God.
really beautiful.
Oh,
Look at that. Well, I'll show the camera right there if
beautiful.
you're watching us on the YouTube.
Hey, I have a joke for you.
Yep.
They're not allowed if they're not allowed to celebrate Santa on Christmas Island, and they don't believe in the Easter Bunny on Easter Island.
Mm-hmm.
What on earth is the belief system on Norfolk Island?
Hey, nice one.
I think it's meant to be worded better than that, but I was trying to remember it on the fly.
This one comes from Ellen.
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 We've had an Ellen message before, haven't we?
I think so, yeah.
Or is it, am I doing what you did that time, just assuming everyone has the same
I think
word?
everyone has the same name. Hi, Georgia and Sammy. I've been a listener since the start and look forward to a new episode every Monday and Thursday. I just want to say thank you for continuing the podcast throughout the holiday period. Not everyone gets time off. Shout out to our frontline workers. And it's really nice you guys have pressed on throughout this busy time of the year. I also think it's wonderful for the people who might be a bit lonely over Christmas and will take comfort in having some familiar voices with them driving during this time.
Well, hopefully you're not falling asleep like the other listener did when you're listening while you're driving.
I have a suggestion for a New South Wales case, the murder of Matthew Dunbar, aka the widow of Walker. Natasha Darcy, she actually put the pronunciation in there for me, which was actually really
God,
nice.
love
Thank you.
you.
I love all listeners when they do that. Natasha Darcy, some of the details of Natasha Darcy's methods, previous offences, and details around her life will have Georgia exclaiming, "Fuck off."
Oh my God, I can't believe this has become my famous catch cry.
They are bonkers. Things like Googling 99 undetectable poisons and the science of murder.
Oh, that
And
means
the
you
fact-
have to do this story then, Sammy, so I can exclaim my famous...
Fuck off. And the fact that she tried to kill her previous husband and nearly got away with it. It's such a fascinating case.
I love those
Regards, Ellen.
Ellen, I love you.
Ellen.
Oh, I love that. Sammy, can you do that one, please?
Absolutely. And also, do you have a little speak pipe?
Oh, yes.
This one comes from our good friend, Vicky. It's a short one.
Hey G, hey Sammy, love the pod. I just had to leave a message after listening to the Candyman episode today. G, I think you mean complicit when you say
What did I say?
implicit.
Oh. Oh, thank you. When did I say implicit?
You must have said
I must have said someone was implicit in the crime. Oh,
yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah.
I
You know what?
will admit my errors if I said implicit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
G-Love
If
can
I
dish it out.
I just
and
heard
she can
myself
take
saying,
it.
if I said that.
Yeah, if I said that. Actually,
No, I must
if
have.
I said that.
Because you know what? I know that all my listeners would not call me out on anything unless I said
My
it wrong.
listeners as well. You've
Did I
just
say
clear. Vicky, call it
Oh
again.
my God. I used to get in trouble all the time from my ex-husband because I'd always talk about my wedding.
Oh, that's
when I
so
was
funny.
talking
That's great,
to him.
actually. Yeah.
Funny, he's my ex-husband.
Anyway.
Okay, Paudry Peeve.
No. Can I just say real quickly as well? Because I've got one more. I've got one more to do.
Oh my God, yeah, it's the world's longest episode.
Hey, it's not. It's fine. Everyone's having a good time.
Okay.
All right. And please do write in just because I love hearing from you. This one comes from Maria. Hi, Sammy and Georgia. Just wanted to say thanks for your podcast. Nothing better than a one-episode tell-all, especially for us who can't be bothered sitting through long-winded stories. Ooh.
Oh.
Also, a thought for a Thursday treat. One case that sits with me always is Marion Barter.
Oh, that's on my list.
Oh, great. I know it's unsolved at the moment, but it may be amazing to have Sally Layden on to tell the story of her mum. Also, a Paudry peeve.
Go on.
People who order a weak latte with one or more sugars.
It's not a coffee.
Don't disrespect coffee like this.
Yes!
Lots of love. Maria.
Okay, my Paudry Peeve today is coffee related.
Oh, great.
And
Okay, yep.
mark my word, you know this is true because I said before we started recording the mailbag, I said, wait, let me look up my Paudry Peeve now so I'm not having to look at my phone during it. So I already knew what it was. It is baby chinos.
Okay, yep.
Some of our listeners might not know what that is.
Uh-huh.
A baby chino is just the frothed milk. So when you get a coffee at a cafe and they froth the milk for a latte or a flat white or a cappuccino, the frothed warm milk in an espresso glass for your baby.
Yes, for your bubba.
For your bubba. Sorry, I said baby. I meant bubba.
Sorry. I said baby. I meant bubba.
I just think it's the most fucking ridiculous
Well,
cash grab.
It's just a bit of
stupid thing
burnt
ever.
milk, really, isn't it?
They're like $3 or something
Yeah, they're
stupid.
so
Even if they were
expensive.
10 cents. Stupid.
I think
your
it's because
baby
they're-
does not need
no.
a coffee at the fucking coffee shop.
Yeah, I understand why the cafe charges that much to make it
'Cause they
because they're
can.
burning, but they're also burning milk, and it's like such a waste.
Yeah,
of
they
milk.
don't want it. Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like, oh. But
you
no,
don't need
exactly.
to order your baby a drink to have with you at the shop.
No.
I know I'm going to get so much hate for that. but-
Well, mine is today. Dog owners that don't pick up their dog poo.
oh my God, we're both baby related.
It's my pet peeve. Yeah, Bubba related.
Sorry,
Bubba related. But yeah, so
oh God, yeah.
people, because I'm a big, I got a big boy, and
a big dog.
and
Big
I've got
Bubba.
a big dog, big Bubba, and I
Big
always pick up
poos.
his dog poo, and when people don't, I'm always like,
If someone came across Diggs's dog poo just sitting there,
oh my God.
there'd be riots in the street.
oh, they know as well. They come point me. They come find me.
100% because it's like the size of a human. hand.
Yeah. So that's my Paudry peeve.
I must say, I love dogs. Whenever I take Diggs for a walk and he poos, I go, oh yeah, probably. I don't mind not having a dog.
Yeah.
Like I love dogs. I really hate that.
And yours
part
is
of-
fine. Your cat just
She
poos in the
poos in a
house.
No. Excuse me. Don't you start a dog versus cat thing.
She just poos in the house. It's lovely to clean up.
It is easy. She poos in a little like sand tray and
Yeah.
you just scoop it straight into the toilet.
Yeah,
I don't have to touch it with my hands.
I do.
You touch
I'm used to it.
Paudry's.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I love it.
You do.
I love
You pick up
Yeah.
Paudry's poop
Yeah.
from the dirt tray
That's right.
when I'm not there.
Sometimes when you're there, I love it.
I think we're fighting, guys. I'm sorry we had us fight. This episode's been too long, and this is what
Can
happens
I also
when we
say
talk for too long.
the Covina Christmas episode? There was a couple of glitches in that
Oh,
episode.
yes,
I think
there
it's
were.
fixed now, but it was just an export issue. So apologies if you listen to that one. There's a little bit of a glitch in there.
A shout out to the one and only Katie Love for live reacting the editing issues to
did
me
she?
as she listened to them, and I ignored her pretending I couldn't write back because I was driving. I also then listened to it and also noticed the
sure.
edit issue.
I would also like to say that I'm doing a filming of some stand-up, trying some new jokes. That'll be on the 17th of January at the local Tap House at 2 p.m. if you want
Which
to
is
come
in St Kilda in Melbourne. Tickets are only bloody $10, guys. That's like less than the beer will cost
Yeah.
you to have.
Come
when
along.
when you have a laugh.
Have a lovely
Have a
drink.
laugh. I'll be there.
She'll be there.
I don't know if that helps or hinders your ticket sales.
But anyway, thank you to Oliver Clark, as always, for doing the theme music. Thank you to Tamsin Hayes for doing the artwork. We've had a lovely time and we'll be seeing you this coming Thursday.
I'll be seeing you in all familiar
Don't forget to write
places.
in. Don't forget to leave
write
a
in.
five rating as well.
I'm tired. I'm a bit tired, actually.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.